When it comes to success, it's all about teamwork. Whether it's the Scott City Beavers or your farming operation, it's teamwork that counts. You can count on the entire Scott Co-op team to make your operation successful. Here's Adam Kadavy.
It is week 2 of high school football and the home opener tonight for the Scott City Beavers, part of their 5 home game slate for 2023 tonight. They welcome in from out of state in the state of Colorado, the Wray Eagles. Good evening and welcome to Darner Field here in Scott City. Adam Kadavy with you here on Mix 94.5, also the Beaver Broadcasting Network. Alongside me is Tim McGonigal, and studio engineer is Melody Toscano back at the Mix 94.5 studios. So both teams coming in with high-powered offenses and lopsided victories to open up the season. In the first game of the year, Scott City got off to a big win over the Cimarron Blue Jays, 49-13, 1-0 on the year, as they took care of the Cimarron Blue Jays after they trailed 7-0 and only ran 2 plays compared to Cimarron's 20 in the first 12 minutes. The Beavers put up over 500 yards, and all but 4 of those came in the last 3 quarters. The Wray Eagles, they come in on a hot tear, picking up from where they left off a year ago, a 1A state runner-up finish in Colorado to the Lyman Badgers. Well, Wray comes in 2-0 on the air with wins over Highland out of Colorado of the Alt area, 46-6. And then the Goodland Cowboys last Friday night on the road, where they scored 52 unanswered points in a 52-14 victory. Here we are, week 2, Tim, and we have 2 powerhouses here tonight, one from Colorado, one from Kansas. And I tell you what, this is going to be a pretty good physical battle here tonight.
Well, that's what we sure hope so. You know, last year we put it to them and kept them scoreless. Like they've only been scoreless like twice in 5 years or something. But I'm thinking maybe this will be a little bit different. You know, their kids saw from Wray, they saw what we're all about. Surely they'll put up a little bit better fight tonight against us. I think we're a really good football team, though, Adam.
I do, too. And, you know, both teams, very similar situation. Both teams lost a lot to graduation a year ago, both on both sides of the ball. Wray kind of like that as well. But just a lot of similar traits. Both like to be run first, and we're going to see we'll tell you a little bit more about Wray in our pregame here, but we'll see the single-wing offense from them, and it's going to be a lot of running here, but I think Scott City will probably be the team that'll pass a lot more.
Well, you know, last week, Adam, we put the ball up in the air 13 times. Coaches have been saying we're going to throw the ball more. Hey, that's quite a bunch, especially winning like we were to be throwing it 13 times. So, Adam, I think as our timing gets better in the passing game, I think we'll throw it more than that even maybe.
Oh, I agree. It should be a fun night here. It's military night. Scott City wearing the digital camo jerseys, the lone time of the year that they'll be wearing those. And we'll talk a little bit more about this game that's slated to kick off at 7 o'clock. We'll step aside for a 3-minute break, and when we do come back, we're going to hear comments from head coach Jim Turner here in your pregame show. It's Scott City and Wray for the 4th time in series history. Back in 3 minutes, this is Scott City Beaver football.
services that can benefit your business. Now that's smarter insurance for agriculture. Western Agricultural Insurance Company, an equal opportunity provider.
It's true that True North Cafe is your local coffee shop in Scott City. But did you know that True North Cafe is more than just coffee? It's true. They have a variety of drinks to get your day started.
pulling somebody, or their little power back's always leading. So a little bit easier to read that stuff. I mean, when they run their bases, kind of like we would run a base, there's nobody pulling, but otherwise somebody's always pulling. So I don't know about easy, because it's a whole different scheme, more of a power game. We're going to have to line up and be more physical than they are, and just stuff the line of scrimmage is basically what we have to do on defense, and then the linebackers can run around, make tackles, and we got to be secure on the edge, because if we do our job up front, they'll have to bounce to the edge, and we got to be on the edge ready for that.
With what they run, does that kind of change how you set up your defensive line? You put extra guys up front?
Yeah, I put a little more size in there. So, Caden has a great game, leads us in tackles, and he's probably going to see, a limited time based on our defenses, because all the unbalanced looks, we'll slide Tanner out to some end and bring in another D tackle, and Jackson to Bandit, and slide Colin, our experienced outside linebacker, Bandit over to Rover. So, but Caden will get in there some too. But it's just a different scheme. We have to kind of line up to their alignment, and that's the way it works. Caden understands that. We talked the other day.
Well, special teams, pretty good the last week. Jackson really had a really good kicking and punting game there, and you found a couple of kickers that can put it between the uprights there for extra points.
Yeah, they're both inexperienced. One's freshman, one, of course, Dan Air, her first year ever playing football. So, going for two or kicking, it'll be up to Coach Gentry what he wants to do there. I've already given him my input, so he knows what I'm looking for, and we'll just probably kind of go like we did last week. Might go for two, and we get a touchdown or two. We might start kicking, and let both of them kick a little bit.
Should be a good one here tonight for the home opener. Get their roll out the camo jerseys here with Military Night. Coach Jim Turner here in the pregame. Thanks again for the time, Coach, and good luck to you guys.
Thanks, Adam.
That was Scott City Beaver coach Jim Turner. Your pregame interview brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, with you in Bertavans in Scott City and Leota. More to come in your pregame show. We'll have a breakdown of the matchup. Also bring you starters, keys of the game, and the kickoff after this timeout. This is Scott City Beaver football.
Appreciation night here, recognizing the veterans in attendance, and they're going to be out there holding their flags as well, and from their respective militaries. But let's get this game broke down here real quick to break down the matchup. But look at Scott City. It was a rough first quarter. Turnover, 20 plays for Cimarron, just 2 for Scott City, and net 4 yards for the Beavers. But then after that, the Beavers found out how explosive they were, and just really Cimarron just didn't have a chance after that.
Well, we had some new wrinkles, too. We threw the ball more. We ran a true option with a pitch. We hadn't done that in years. So there were some new things going on, and Cimarron they had a good game plan to start. They were using all 40 seconds of the clock before they'd snap the ball, and we talked about it, how they were keeping it away from us. That's the best offense or best defense you can have against a high-powered offense. Never let the other guy have the ball.
Yeah, and Scott City, 551 yards of offense, 403 on the ground. We had to go back and forth. We're talking about, is this possible? I was counting all the stats and everything. It sure was. And Colin McDaniel had his career night, 216 yards, had 3 long runs out there. Avery Knoll had a big run as well. And then we had some good pass plays to Alex Tarango, also to Jackson Rumford, and Camden Baltimore did pretty good running the option as well. And even the second team did pretty good out there as well offensively when their number was called in the fourth quarter.
Well, the amazing thing was McDaniel only had the ball like 9 times. That's what was crazy to me. Half a dozen rushing and maybe 3 passing that he caught.
I'd like to welcome and thank all active service military members as well as those veterans here with us tonight. Standing on the field with members of the National Honor Society are veterans of the United States Army, Trevor Fisher, Larry O'Connor, Roland Jenkins, Charles Simingo, Harold Haas, Tim Vanderwall, Jack Jordan, Chris Hodgson, veterans of the United States Marine Corps, Skip Newbridge, veterans of the United States Navy, Dennis veterans of the United States Air Force, Steve Edwards, Harry James, Gary James, and veterans of the United States Coast Guard, Steve Brown.
them on offense. They'll run a single wing. They'll have a blocking back. They'll even throw in a couple tight ends there to block, a blocking back in the backfield, one receiver. That's what they'll do, though. It's pretty much student body left, student body right with them.
Yeah, I remember Conway Springs doing that stuff. Yep. Man, although Conway Springs had a collegiate line ahead of them.
Yeah, they were. I remember Conway's line pretty much 250 to 300 pounds across the board.
And 6'4" all the
way. 6'4", yeah. Ray is not quite that big, but they're still got some good size there to him. We'll talk about that here momentarily. But defensively, you'll see a 4-3 look from the Wray Eagles. It's been familiar. It really comes from Kansas. It came Dustin Dunn. He's our defensive coordinator. He was an old St. Francis Indian that learned from Tim Lambert, who learned from Smith Center. So that's kind of where that 4-3 concept comes from.
Very good.
So, yeah, that's what they run. And you'll hear a lot of Samuel Meisner called, also Ben Harms, and that linebacking core. Casey Midcap has an interception this year. Meisner has a pick 6 this year. He had that against Highland in week 1. There's a defense that has been pretty stingy. In 2 games, they've given up less than 100 yards of total rushing yards.
Well, the thing that amazes me is we were talking with the radio guy from Wray, and he said, yeah, we got over 200 kids in our school, and they're a 1A school. And I go, well, where would Scott City be with 290? He goes, you'd be a 1A school too. So, Adam, he said to us, football in Kansas is pretty good. And that's kind of impressive for him to say that about us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, Kansas, or Scott City, our enrollment right now, last check, is around 327. So we've bumped about 20 or 30 kids from last year.
He said there were still several kids over schools over 300. He said you'd probably still be a 1A school.
Probably. There's a lot of schools, and there's only 5 11-man classifications in Colorado.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to move forward here. They're doing the opening toss in the middle of the field here. This brand new field turf, it just looks gorgeous. They did it over the summer, a little over around, I think, $1.3 million, the project here. With the turf, and then also expanding the high jump areas on the south end there. They've got that done. And so let's get your starting lineups here real quickly. We're moments away from getting started here.
Hustle.
Yeah. Starting lineups presented by Security State Bank in Scott City and Leota. For the Wray Eagles, who will be on offense first, it'll be the quarterback, Casey Midcap. The running back will be Samuel Meisner. Blocking back will be a junior, Austin Snap. That's a trio of juniors in the backfield. Tight ends, Angel Santizo and Ben Harms. They're a pair of juniors. Ostentana is a sophomore wideout. The center is Brody Riggleman, 170-pound junior. The guards, Brody Richards and Andrew Bowie, a sophomore and junior. Tavery Chappell, who was injured a year ago in the summer due to a wrestling injury. He's a 205-pound outside tackle. And Caden Grape, their lone offensive lineman, coming back, 185-pound senior. For the Scott City defense, we're going to see a different lineup. Tanner Gooden, Jackson Rumford, also Case Armendariz, Braden Bruner. We'll also see probably as well tonight the sophomore for Scott City, Emilio Contreras start. Tracer Chapman, Oscar Mendez will start at a linebacker spot. Colin McDaniel as well. Camden Vogelmore, Alex Tarango, and Avery Knoll, your safeties tonight, or your secondary for the Beavers. Keys to the game real quickly, presented by State Farm agent Michael Trout.
Wray has played 2 games. They played Highland, then they played Goodland. Scott City's played 1 game, Cimarron. Normally you talk to coaches, they say your most improvement is between game 1 and 2. I'd say Wray improved last week as badly as they beat Goodland. Well, what's going to happen? That's my key to the game, is the question of, are we going to improve so much better? That's what I want to see, especially in the first quarter when we only had the ball twice.
Scott City won the toss. They elected to defer to the second half. It's an 89-degree evening here. We're going to start about 4 minutes early. Scott City deferring to the second half. Wray will receive. They'll defend the south end zone, as it's a northeast wind here at Darner Field here at Military Night. Scott City wearing their Columbia blue and dark blue camo, digital camo jerseys, white numbers with the blue trim around the numbers. As light blue pants and helmets, the SC decal on the right and the number on the left. Wray in that all-white uniform, that clean look. They have the Eagle helmet or logo on the decal inside and their purple numbers and letters. Jackson Rumford to tee this up from the 40-yard line. He has it in the middle of the field, and the home opener is underway. Up nice, booming end over and kick. It is going to take Miser back to his 4-yard line, up the middle, 15, 20, 25. Oh, he breaks through a couple tackles, gets hit across the 30, still going, and he's tripped up finally by Caden Couchman, but not before a nice run to the 38-yard line, a run of about 34.
Well, you can see why he rushed for 300-some yards last week. He's tough to bring down, Adam.
Yes, he is. Scott City will be defending the north end zone in the opening 12 minutes. The Wray Eagles with the ball first. First varsity game on this brand new field turf, and it looks outstanding. Oh, Wray will spread it out with a 4-receiver set, twins to both sides, and a blocking back to the right. Back to passes, midcap on first down, passes to the right, caught, and this is Ben Harms. He'll take it for a first down down the right sideline and is knocked out of bounds, but not before a gain of 22 to the 40-yard line of Scott City. They'll actually mark him out at the 43, a gain of 19.
How about that? They've been running the single wing for 2 games in a row. They come out in a spread offense, throw the ball well, get 20 yards. How about that, Adam?
Yeah, that was a good play. Harms his 4th reception of the year, so one play and the Eagles into Scott City territory here with 11:43 to go first quarter. And now they'll line up in their single wing movement to the 2 tight ends to the right. It'll be a direct snap to Miser up the middle. Miser will take it for maybe a yard. He'll get it to the 42 for a gain of 1. Underneath there of the pile making the tackle. It'll be second down coming up. And that was Tracer Chapman with the tackle.
Didn't really get anything against that. The big beef of the Beavers right there on the front line. Oh, you know, and everybody's, they are standing on each other's feet there in their splits. It's just like a V formation.
No gain officially, 2nd and 10, 43-yard line for Wray. No score in Scott City territory. They'll run a counter left side, and it's going to be a nice gain of about 5 to the 38-yard line for Austin Tana, the ball carrier. He'll make it 3rd down and 5. Aaron Tana, excuse me, his 5th carry of the year.
Yeah, when we say counter, we could think reverse also. They make it look like they're going to the east, and they come back with the west. Nice little play.
3rd and 5 at the Beaver 38, ball in the middle of the field. 10.5 to go first quarter, no score. Scott City defense last week forced Cimarron to just 2 of 12. Here's a direct snap. It'll be a keeper right side for Miser, and he's going to be brought down back at the 42-yard line. And a nice play for Alex Tarango, the junior, who's wearing number 22 to 9. A loss of 4 on Midcap's 2nd carry. 4th and 9 in decision time for Wray.
I think they'll go for it. I think they'll go because, you know, they're at the Scott City 42-yard line.
Scott City's going to bring in Caden Cashman and also Cesar Peregrino, more of a pass rush.
Yep. Yeah, there we go. Split wide, left, right.
Opening drive of the game, 5th play of the drive as well. From the 42 of Scott City, 4th and 9. They're going left and down the seam for Miser. He can't find it, and it's an incompletion and a turnover on downs. And it's a correction. Meisner was the intended receiver. Midcap was the passer. Turnover on downs for the Beaver defense.
And that Wray receiver was open.
Yes, he was.
The ball, instead of just throwing it down the middle of the field, he threw it more like over here towards the pylon. Receiver thought it was going to be the middle of the field. Man, if them two would have been on the same page, that would have been a touchdown.
Here we go, 1st and 10 for Scott City. They're going to have great field position at their own 43 left hash mark, a little bit into the sun here. Pistol wing T with the receiver left up the middle. This is going to be Chapman who gets a start. He gets it into Wray territory on the first play for a gain of about 8 on first down. Make it 9, and 2nd down and short coming up.
Chapman?
Yes.
Yeah, that looked good. I thought he was going to break it all the way there.
Yeah, he was close to it.
He was.
And Midcap with that tackle, the safety. So 2nd and about 1.5 yards with 9:20 to go first quarter. So both teams on one play have crossed into the opponent territory. This is a sweep play right side to Knoll. Nowhere to go, and he is going to be pushed back into Scott City territory. They'll mark him at his own 49 for a loss of 2, and there was a lot of penetration on the right side as Knoll with the carry. But 3rd down and reasonable for Scott City.
Yeah, penetration is the key to defense, isn't it? Don't you think, Adam? High school football especially. And you can't fake oh my gosh, you watch a pro game and everything is so fast. The people are fast as compared to high school. You can't fool.
Last week, Scott City was 5 of 7 on third down. They're going to pass, play fake, wide open to flats. It's McDaniel who make the catch. 40, 35, cuts it up inside the numbers. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. McDaniel weaves his way into pay dirt. Touchdown, Scott City. A 51-yard pass play from Camden Vogelmore to Colin McDaniel, and the Beavers strike first with 8:28 to go, first quarter.
I tell you, McDaniel being out there for 3 years playing, he's got it figured out, you know. He had a hole to the left of him. Once he got to the sideline, cut through there. Then after he got through there, he cut back to the pylon. And then he could feel the pressure coming, so he cut back to the middle of the field. Wow, that's awesome running.
Junior Mays to kick in the extra point. Oh, this is a high, or the kick is up, and did it make it through? Yes, it did. It was close off the hold of McDaniel. 7-0 Scott City with 8:28 to go, first quarter. The kickoff coming your way in 30 seconds. This is Beaver football.
You know, nothing's better than homemade food. That's what you're going to get.
Scott City, powered by Wheatland Electric, committed to improving the lives of their members and the community they serve. Wheatland Electric, delivering energy for life, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Adam Kadavi, Tim McGonigal with you here from Darner Field in Scott City. A 3-play, 58-yard drive. Took a little over 2 minutes on that possession. And on third down, Scott City connecting through the air. Camden Vogelmore to Colin McDaniel from 51 yards out. The extra point for Junior Mays, who is now 3 of 3 on point after tries this year. And the Beavers are up 7-0 as this time Rumford to boot this. Deep end over and kick. This will take Meisner to his own 5-yard line. Up the middle, 10, 15, 20, 25, and tackled at the 26-yard line. And a nice play that time by Cesar Peregrino, staying in his lane.
Well, you know, Adam, my key to the game was I wanted to see improvement, especially in the first quarter. I think we've seen it. Our first time touching the football, go right down and get a touchdown. Awesome.
Well, Scott City cannot let up. They've got to use this. Last week, Wray trailed after the first play of the game against Goodland 6-0, and then ended up scoring 52 straight.
Well,
Scott City did that to Cimarron in similar fashion.
There you go. What do we got going on here?
I don't know what the situation. Oh, they got to get the different football. One of the young men who's the ball boy tonight, he's got to race down to the other side, and he's got Ray's football, and they'll swap them out.
Okay.
Yeah, the ball boys, it's their home opener too, so they're they're not in early season or mid-season form yet.
Yes.
It's a single wing setup. It's quarterback counter play, and nice run of about 4 yards to make it to the 31-yard line goes Casey Midcap. That quarterback counter play, and a gain of 5 on first down sets up second and medium.
Well, if you're watching this ball game online on YouTube videos, if you could hit the subscribe button and subscribe for the school, that'd be a good deal. They're trying to get to 1,000. I heard them tonight say they were just a little over 700.
2nd and 6, 31-yard line toward the left hash mark. Under 8 to go, first quarter. Midcap under duress as he's back to pass. Still now steps up in the pocket, and he's tripped up for a gain of about 2 to the 33-yard line. It looked like that time on the trip up was Case Armendariz. A gain of 2 sets up 3rd and 4.
Wow.
So 3rd down and 4.
Well, it's a big down. We'd like to see Wray punt that football.
They've only punted 1 time all year.
Are you serious?
Correct. They failed on their first attempt on 3rd down earlier in the period. 7 minutes to go, first quarter, 8 on the play clock. A 4-receiver set, 2-by-2 on 3rd and 4 from their own 33, left hash mark. Midcap looking down the middle of the field. Pass is going to be overthrown. Leading his receiver, Aaron Tana, a little bit too far. And 4th down and about 4 coming up. Scott City sitting the punt unit out. Looks like so are the Wray Eagles.
Yeah, I watched him punt in pregame. This number 22. He got a nice leg. He's a freshman, though, I think.
Sophomore.
Sophomore, yeah. He's not very old. He's pretty little. I mean, look how skinny he is.
He only stands at 120 pounds, a sophomore. It's Felipe Carranza. He had a 27-yard boot. It's a bad snap. It's from
he
the
had
center.
his knee down.
It looked like he may have his knee down. You're right. It's a kick and almost hits a Wray defender as it rolls inside the 35 and then stopped right at about the 31-yard line. So about 17, 18, 35-yard punt, no return with 6:51 to go first quarter. Scott City's second possession with a 7-0 lead.
I think he had his knee on the turf, Adam. Where's the replay?
Well, that doesn't work, unfortunately, in high school. Actually, I've been against replays, but that's another subject for another day.
Oh, come on. Let's argue.
All right. First and 10, 32-yard line for the Beavers. And it'll be a handoff play. Avery Knowles slips on the turf and then spins forward for about 3. As he planted, he'll get about 4 to the 36 on first down. A nice run there for him and sets up 2nd and 6. Andrew Bowie on the tackle.
I thought maybe they'd parachute in the football, with that air show going on tomorrow night.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I thought so, too. I heard a plane way up there, and I thought he was checking it all out.
Second down, 4 receivers set for the Beavers. A pistol setup. Volgamore looking right side. Pass is going to be caught by McDaniel, trying to sidestep Collins, and he does. He's got a first down and still on his feet. 50, right numbers, outside 30, 25, 20. Is he going to get another touchdown catch? Yes, he will. Touchdown, Scott City. My. McDaniel again from Volgamore, his 4th touchdown reception of the year, and it's 13-0 as the cannon fires at Dorner Field with 6:06 to go first quarter.
And Colin has got great hands. He's got great balance. I mean, he was tackled right there. He should have went down, but he's strong, and so he got away from that guy. Man, Adam, this is – I just can't – well –
Yep.
This is what football is about.
Here we go. Daniel Castillo to attempt the PAT. She's 1 of 2 on the out of the hold. McDaniel, placement down on the snap of Volgamore. The kick is up, and Castillo boots it through the uprights. 14-0 Scott City. Mid-first quarter. We'll come back in 30 seconds. This is Beaver football.
On plain talk with exceptional results.
That's amazing.
Football tonight presented by Winterland Farms, Wilkins Physical Therapy, White's Food Liner, Wheatland Electric, Western State Bank, Western Kansas Insurance, Volgamore Family Farms, Turner Sheet Metal, True North Cafe, Trophy Wine and Spirits, and Original Grande. Just a 2-play drive for the Beavers, covering 68 yards, and they take just 45 seconds. And Colin McDaniel with 2 catches and 2 touchdown receptions. He did that last week in his first 2 receptions against Cimarron as well. He has 2 receptions for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Daniel Castilla kicked in the extra point.
We call her Day.
That's right. Here's a kick by Jackson Rumford, and it's a nice end-over kick. This will be, once again, Meisner taking this from his own 7. He'll go toward the right this time as he just gets it across the 20, and that is it. Scott City with good pursuit, and they've gotten better on the pursuit each time. Underneath on the pile that time, once again, with Cesar Peregrino, among others.
Well, the game of football is all about finding a weakness on the other team and taking advantage of it. And so one of the weaknesses that I see in Wray is you put McDaniel out there one-on-one, he's tough to bring down. Wait till they have to tackle Rumford one-on-one out there. I mean, that's how you do football.
First and 10. Their Eagles are going to spread it out with the tight end on the right side. 4 receivers set. Empty backfield from their own 22-yard line, down 14-0. Rolling to his right is Midcap. Fires at the right side. Pass is going to be caught for a first down to the 33. And then receiving the catch was Ben Harms in front of Alex Tarango. It's a gain of 11 and a Wray Eagle first down.
Well, in some ways, I've wondered, when I heard they were going to play the single wing, I thought, well, they want to control the ball just like Cimarron did last week in the first quarter, not allow Scott City to touch the ball very often. Holy cow, we haven't touched the ball very often, and we got 2 touchdowns.
Well, Wray may have just changed their whole game plan. This is their largest deficit of the year. But Midcap, 2 of his first 3 for 30 yards, both of those passes to Ben Harms. They're going to run their empty backfield with the tight end to the left side on first down. It'll be up the middle. This is for Midcap, and he will gain about 9.5 across the 40 to near the 42-yard line on first down. And right now they're just trying to spread out Scott City.
Yeah, that's what I like to say, Adam. They're spreading us out to run on us up the middle. But then again, the quarterback's got a nice throwing action. He's just been off target. He's had a couple of opportunities there where that one a long time ago, it could have been, the first one could have been a touchdown.
He was just 5 of 10 passing coming into the game today. Blocking back in there on second down and a yard. They're going to go with the seam pattern. This is to almost make an over-shoulder catch with Samuel Meisner as he almost had it at the 30-yard line as he kind of goes down in frustration. And that was a good play on second down and a yard, knowing that you have third and a yard coming up.
Well, now that's the second time that quarterback has done that with his receiver. The ball really should have been thrown down the middle of the field, allow the receiver to run, go get it. Instead, he's looking to the inside, and he has to rotate his head over and try and catch. Those are extremely hard catches to catch.
So far, Wray is 0 of 2 on third down, but this is their closest yard to go. They're a yard from their own 42-yard line. They got to get about a half a yard. 14-0 Scott City, a little outside of 5 minutes. Just a direct snap up the middle. Midcap, the quarterback gets hit, but he does get the first down across the 43-yard line. He got popped pretty good on third and a yard.
Yes, he did. He just barely made enough to get the 1st and 10. Well, it's going to be curious to see if they show single wing anymore, if they stay in the spread throughout the rest of the ball game.
14-0 Scott City lead, 4:58 to go first quarter, and now Braden Bruner coming in. He'll replace Cesar Peregrino as now Wray does go back to their single wing. Midcap, the quarterback in shotgun. He'll drop back to pass on first down. They run 2-route pattern, rolling to his right, finding it downfield behind the defense, overshooting the intended receiver, Aaron Tana. He had a step that time on the Scott City defender at about the 25-yard line, setting up 2nd and 10.
Well, that's about the 3rd time they've done that. Just overshot their receiver with, oh my goodness, all I can think about is Cheney coming down the line here in about 10 games.
Yeah.
And that quarterback and their receivers, man, they never missed opportunities.
Nope. 2nd and 10 for Wray at their own 42-yard line right hash mark, trailing 14-0, 8 to snap it. And their single wing setup counter or play fake by Midcap. Rolls to his left, now fires it, lobs it up for grabs and underthrows or overthrows. Could have been Ben Harms or Austin Collins, who's a pretty talented wrestler, wrestling family, a sophomore in a 3rd and 10. Wray is a wrestling school for sure. They've won 4 of the last 5 or 5 of the last 6 state championships in 1A in Colorado.
Really?
And they've got some good wrestlers on that team.
We ought to. There's where we ought to schedule them.
Yeah, well, Scott City does see them up in Lexington.
Oh, do we?
In January. And, Scott City's, I should say that they also got some great wrestlers out there as well. 1 of 3 on third downs for the Eagles. They have 3rd and 10 and a 4-receiver set at their own 42. Rolling to his left is Midcap. Under duress, gets by Peregrino, and now runs out of room, and he is sacked back at the 35-yard line. In there on the sack that time, that was Jackson Rumford, Kesar Menderes, and Mendez in there on the sack, and a punting situation for the Wray Eagles.
Wray quarterback, Midcap, doesn't have near the speed and quickness that the Cimarron quarterback had.
No. Second punt of the night here for the Wray Eagles with 4 minutes to go first quarter. Here's the approach and the kick this time for Kranz. A high kick, angled left side, and Krangle may pick it up on a bounce across the 30. Now 35, gets it across the 40. Oh, he stumbles forward to the 45-yard line. He was tripped up that time by Orrin Richardson, or correction, that was Tavery Chappell, 205-pound junior, in about a 34-yard punt.
Oh, they could get Tarango open somewhere one-on-one, and he is just loaded with speed and quickness. I got to keep remembering he's got on number 22 tonight.
So with 3:48 to go first quarter, Scott City's 3rd series. Up left side, here's Tracer Chapman. Oh, he gets buried. He got by 1, but not by 2. And it was Casey Midcap who laid the blow for a loss of a yard. And it sets up 2nd down and 11.
Nice hit. what do they call them? Tackle for loss.
Tackle for TFLs. Scott City coming into tonight 9-1 versus Colorado Schools all time. This is the 4th time they're playing Wray on 2nd down. A counterplay left side to Colin McDaniel. His first rush, he breaks through tackle, but could not break through the grasp of Austin Collins. If he does break through that, he's finding himself in for a touchdown. It's all the way to the 39 of Wray, 1st and 10.
Wrestler on wrestler.
Yes.
Collins McDaniel. Collins got the takedown.
He did.
Let's reward him.
On the edge of the mat, edge of the circle. 39-yard line of Wray, 1st and 10 for the Beavers. Leading this one 14-0. Tight end right side, receiver left. The run is quarterback sweep left side for Volkmore. He gets a block, turns it upfield. He has the first down as he's going to drag Midcap to the boundary. Wray sideline to the 27 for a gain of 12.
Midcap, the tackler for Wray, was trying to get that ball. He had a hold of that ball with Volkmore trying to pull it out of there. Volkmore did a good job hanging on to that thing.
They'll give him 13 to the 26-yard line, 1st and 10. All right, Scott City going downhill in this first quarter, up 14-0, looking for more. A handoff, this is a counterplay, this time to Avery Knoll. He gets wrapped up at the 25, and a flock of Eagles stopping there for a gain of 1. Leading that charge for Wray was Andrew Bowie, the 155-pound junior linebacker.
Oh, we got to be normal some of the time, Adam. 2 or 3 yards on offense. Man, this has been a break it out in the open. I'm impressed with Wray. They're very athletic. They've just missed on a couple opportunities.
This will be the 6th play of the drive here for the Beavers. As we approach 2 to go first quarter, 10 to snap it. It'll be a speed option right side. Volkmore pitches it late behind to Trango. He'll make the catch, and he makes something out of nothing for a gain of 3 to the 22-yard line. That was not a clean this play from the beginning. Samuel Meisner, the middle linebacker with the tackle, sets up 3rd down.
Well, Wray saw that on film. Last week when we did that pitch, there wasn't anybody out there with Noel when he went taking off for his touchdown. But this week, man, they had penetration at the quarterback level. They were ready for the pitch. Still, we gained a couple yards on it.
3rd down and 6 here with a minute 25. Scott City's converted the lone 3rd down. Volkmore rolls to his left on 3rd down. Now he's under duress, and he is going to be sacked. In there on the late blitz there was Samuel Meisner. Trips up Volkmore for a loss. Back to the 29-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6 on the, make it 7 on the play, setting up a 4th down at about 13.
Well, we're too far to kick a field goal. If we did, that'd be a 46-yarder.
Scott City did not attempt a 4th down last week against Cimarron, so this will be the first one this year. As we're under a minute to go first quarter, the Beavers with 10 to snap it in the 14-0 lead. Empty backfield on 4th down. 6 seconds to snap it. Empty backfield, as I mentioned, a wing to right. Here's Volkmore. Time looking for the end zone. Has Rumford jump ball situation incomplete. There's a late flag. It looked like Midcap pushed as Rumford was jumping for the ball, trying to high point it about the 3-yard line. And so it is ball at the 29-yard line. And is this going to be a 15-yard penalty? If it is, it'll be a 1st and 10. If not, if it's a half a distance to the goal penalty, I think it's inside the line of scrimmage was originally inside the 25. I think that's when it's a half a distance to the goal.
Well,
sorry for the confusion there.
That's okay. They can, even if it's half the distance, Adam, it's going to go to the 14-yard line or 14 and a half.
It would still be a 1st down.
And it would be a 1st down, yeah.
White hat tonight is Chad Knights. They're going to mark this off, and it's going to be inside the 15. They'll mark it at the 14, so it is a 15-yard penalty, and it'll be the 5th 1st and 10 of the game for Scott City. As they enter the Lewis Automotive red zone for the first time tonight, leading 14-0. They'll have one more snap at least here to close out this first quarter.
Well, they'll need to hurry. Clock's running.
There's about a 4-second differential between play clock and game clock as Griffin Edwards enters as the tailback. Kind of a half diamond look, and here's a play up the middle. Griffin Edwards powers his way inside the 10, and he'll be down to the 7-yard line. He'll gain 7 on 1st down on what looks to be the final play of the first quarter. Tackle made by Aaron Tanner, the sophomore.
That'll end the first quarter. Been a good one.
Yes, it is. 12 minutes in the books here at Darner Field, the home opener for 2023, and Scott City is off to a 14-0 start over the Wray Eagles. Second down and 3 inside the 10 when we come back in 1 minute for the second quarter. This is Beaver football.
Great Western Tire.
Scott City with 156 yards of offense in the first quarter. Wray with 40 yards, and Scott City with a 14-0 lead, but threatening. First down and go, or second and 3, at the Wray Eagles 7. Well, a good first quarter for Scott City. They're looking to add to this lead as they have it second and 3 at the 7-yard line.
Well, Adam, when you score quick and fast, sometimes you wonder if the offense gets complacent and they don't want to deal with a 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of thing. But here we go.
8th play of the drive for the Beavers. 3-minute drive up the middle. This is Griffin Edwards. Lowers his shoulder. Gets to about the 5. He'll get 2 of the 3 yards needed on second down. Meisner on the stop once again, and it'll set up a 3rd and a yard. Meisner, the leading tackle, just 11 tackles coming in this year.
And when I say we're getting, and I'm not saying we're being complacent, I'm wondering about if that, you still have to block and tackle, and, it's a fight along that front line.
3rd and a yard right toward the right hash mark as Scott City looks to score in the north end zone. We have a flag on the play. I think Scott City moved too early. Their first penalty of the night. Instead of a 3rd and a yard and a half, it'd be 3rd and about 5.5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, with that quick snap, man, and breaking the huddle quick and getting to the line of scrimmage they want to snap within 3 seconds or whatever. You still got to be set for 1 second. And sometimes I think we're not.
So offensive coordinator Brian Gentry will give a new play to Alex Tarango, the wide receiver. 3rd and 6 at the 10. Toward the right hash mark. Opening 32 seconds of the second quarter. 14-0 Scott City lead. The Beavers this year in the red zone. 4 of 4. They were last week against Cimarron. Man in motion. Lay fake, and now Vogelmore leaves it wide open for Jackson Rumford. Touchdown, Scott City. He got hit on an outside blitz by Ben Harms as he let it release. And Jackson Rumford, who had a handful of touchdowns a year ago, has his first of the year, and the Beavers extend their lead to 20-0.
Rumford came from the right side, from the east, went across to the west side. Vogelmore got hit just as he released the ball. He had to see that guy coming to hit him. He did a good job standing there.
Junior Meza to try to make it a 21-point game. Kick is on the way, and it is perfect. The officials underneath the goalposts give each other 2 thumbs up, saying it's good. 21-0 Beavers. First minute of the second quarter. We'll come back in 30 seconds. This is Scott City football. Football here tonight brought to you by our corporate sponsors and thank them all season long. Stevens Veterinary Services, State Farm Insurance, Spencer Pest Control, Specialty Risk Insurance Agency, Security State Bank, Scott Pro, Scott County Record, also Scott County Hospital, Scott Cooperative Association, Scott County Title Abstract and Title Company, Scott Community Foundation, Scott City Pharmacy Giftologist, Scott City Eye Center, Road and Beacon Green, Richards Financial Services, Our Brothers Auto Body Mechanic, and Precision Ag and Seed. So Scott City goes with a tight end drag on 3rd down and 6 from the 10-yard line, and then find a wide open Jackson Rumford for the touchdown. And it was Junior Mesa, the PAT, capping off that 4-minute, 23-second drive. High end over and kick by Rumford. This will be returned here by Meisner. He'll take it at his own 12-yard line. Trying to bounce it right side, but runs into a couple of Beavers there across the 20, near the 25. They'll mark him right around the 25, 26-yard line. And on the stop was Griffin Edwards.
That was a great kick by Rumford, Adam. When you can get that ball down there to the 5, 10-yard line, that's awesome. And it's a good weapon.
Holcomb leading Cimarron at the end of the first quarter, 14-0. We'll try to get some other scores as we get them here. But anyways, it's 21-0 Scott City, first minute of the second quarter. Here's fake, and here's in the backfield. A nice gain that time for Bryson Lewis. He'll take it for about 3 to the 30-yard line as Tracer Chapman makes a tackle. Lewis, a sophomore, 9 carries, 25 yards coming into tonight for the Wray Eagles.
9 for 24.
Yeah, coming into tonight.
Uh-huh. Well, they've had 2 games, so.
Yeah, they mentioned coming in, about 43 of the 67 carries have come from Meisner and Midcap. Second down, man in motion, as it's Lewis still in that backfield. Tight end goes to the right side. This is a direct snap. Following lead blocker and getting the first down is quarterback Casey Midcap. Goes up the middle, follows his lead blockers to the 38-yard line for a gain of 8.
A nice play. Wonder how many of these kids are wrestlers on that line of scrimmage.
Well, I think Chappell is for sure, and I think Riggleman may be as well. From what I can remember, 1st and 10.
Got Vasquez out there.
He's in that defensive line, yeah.
They can't move that guy.
1st and 10, 38-yard line for Wray in the middle of the field as they go back to their single wing. Now Midcap will be back to pass. Looking left, has plenty of time now under duress. He's got a lot of room to run on the right side. He'll tuck it up and run. He'll take it to across the 40, breaks through a couple tackles, and he's finally escorted out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Colin McDaniel to push Midcap out for a gain of 4. Midcap 7 carries, 21 yards in this first quarter. He has 7 of their 11 carries so far in this game.
That's crazy. 7 out of 11 carries.
Meisner, who came in with 439 yards on the ground, he has just 2 carries for -4 yards, and he's now back in the game as a running back. 2nd and 6, 42-yard line right hash mark. It'll be a direct snap to Meisner. Follows his lead blocker's right side near a first down at the 47, and he's going to be a yard shy as he meets up a wall of the digital camo as Tracer Chapman and Oscar Mendez with a tackle.
Yeah, that camo makes them numbers hard to read for Scott City. I like the uniform, but I just can't.
Yes.
I think their numbers ought to be black.
Well, yes. Had some reps there for Kelton Cook on that 2nd down play, 3rd and a yard. He forgot his mouthpiece. 3rd and a yard. 5th play of the drive for the Eagles at their own 47. They'll send Collins in motion. He'll be as that extra tight end on the left side. It'll be a direct snap to the quarterback. He'll just get across for the first down to the 49-yard line. Needed a yard, got 2. And on the tackle was Tracer Chapman. And for the second time, Wray converts a 3rd down in this first half.
They're very athletic.
Yes.
You know, and the fun thing is Lyman took first in the championship in state last year in Colorado, and Wray took 2nd, and they're from the same league.
Hey, talking with their coach, Levi Kramer, that's his mentor who's the head coach of Lyman. So he says that's almost tough to beat them on first down. They'll swing it out to the flats. Pass is caught by Meisner. Vogelmar had the tackle, but that time Meisner shows his toughness, breaks through a good open field tackle, and ends up being an 11-yard pass play for a Wray first down.
Yeah, he's tough to bring down. So the coach at Lyman used to coach
or he's a mentor for Levi Kramer.
Oh, okay.
So,
very good.
Yeah.
Well, Kramer was the quarterback of Wray when they won their state championship back in '93, I think it was.
Yes, it was. And then the next year, Scott City and Wray played a home and home. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, second time that Ray has penetrated into Scott City territory. Here's a quick burst up the middle for Midcap. He'll gain 9 on first and right down the middle. Rumford trips him up, but a 9-yard gain to the 31 sets up a 2nd and a yard.
You know, Scott City has 51 kids on their roster. Wray has 38, but Wray only has 3 seniors on the roster.
Yeah, they're not they graduated a huge senior class a year ago, but they do have a pretty good junior and sophomore class size-wise. 2nd and a yard at blocking back at the 4 receiver set for Wray. Midcap back to pass. Looks at the slant or the seam pattern. Here's a catch by Miser inside the 10 and 1st and goal as Xavier Knoll brings him down at the 7-yard line. Make it the 6 for a gain of 25.
I was afraid Knoll got his helmet or face mask the way he reached out there. Them refs are a lot closer than me.
Midcap now 4 of 8 passing for 66 yards, 2 to Meisner, 2 to Harms. The first time that the Eagles have found the red zone. There was 7:48 to go first half, trailing 21-0. 4 receiver set. It's going to be up the middle this time for Midcap inside the 5. Leans forward. He is in. Touchdown, Wray. Wray is on the board here with 7:38 to go first half as they run a 4-minute drive covering 73 yards, and they are into within 21-6.
Wow. That was a nice reach by the quarterback to put that ball over the end zone as he was tackled. Will they go for 2? Oh, you said something about they left a kicker at home.
Yeah, they don't have their main kicker today, Diego De Leon, who's 2 of 6 on PATs, but this is a team that likes to go for 2. From the 3-yard line, Scott City defended a 2-point conversion last week over 1. Counter left side, and in is going to be Aaron Tana for the 2-point conversion to make this a 13-point game with 7:38 to go first half. 21-8, Scott City with the lead. Ready to kick off in 30 seconds. This is Scott City football.
Platinum H Insurance.
Once again, when you reach for a drink here, we reach for Z Bottling Water here, the purest water of Western Kansas. Tim, yep, you got your Z bottle here. So do I. Cheers, yeah.
Cheers.
But make sure you see Z Bottling, custom labeling, and outstanding delivery and customer service. Purest water of Western Kansas, Z Bottling. That scoring summary for Wray, they go 8 plays, 73 yards, and 3:45 on the clock, and they really move the ball at will. They get a 7-yard or 6-yard run from quarterback Casey Midcap, and it was Aaron Tana to run in the 2-point conversion to make this a 21-8 game, and Wray kind of back into the game, Tim.
Well, that's what I kept thinking. They missed a couple opportunities where they probably could have had some other scores, overthrowing the receiver, throwing it to the wrong shoulder. I still think they're not very big, but they're a good athletic bunch.
Kicking off here is going to be Aaron Tana, who ran in that 2-point conversion. He's got it at the 40-yard line, and we'll see what Wray does here. A deep to return. Scott City has Alex Tarango, Colin McDaniel, deep to return. Here's the approach and the boot. This is shorter angled right side. This is to Couchman. Oh, he muffs it and picked up by Tarango at his 26, and he's going to be met by 2 white shirts wearing 2 and 22. Bryson Lewis and Felipe Carranza with the tackle right at the 26.
Wow, that was dangerous.
Make that 24.
They were within about 4 yards before we picked the ball up.
So 1st and 10, Scott City's worst field position of the night at their own 24. They have a 21-8 lead with 7:32 to go second quarter. Alex Tarango will be split to the short side, left side of the field, pistol wing T, tight end right side on first down. Here's a carry up the middle and a nice run for about 4 to the 28. They'll say his knee was down there for Tracer Chapman, and Casey Midcap with the tackle.
I like this, that we got a couple of different running backs who are running the ball. Chapman Edwards. Knoll. One of these days they'll turn Vogelmore loose too and let him go too.
He has 2 rushes for 6 yards. He had a 13-yard run, then a 7-yard sack. On second down, this is the play right side for Griffin Edwards, trying to get to the outside as a flag flies. He'll take it to the 30, setting up a 3rd and 4, pinning the penalty, but this is more than likely probably coming back.
That's my thought. Probably be a hold.
A gain of a yard to the 30 for Edwards on his 3rd carry. Was 6:55 to go first half. Taking a lengthy time here discussing this. Holding on Scott City. This will be a 10-yard penalty. Now they are going to mark it from the line of scrimmage. And it should be marked at the 18. There it is. Scott City's second penalty for 15 yards. And now a little adversity here for the Beavers, facing a 2nd and long. 16.
Yes. That's what we need, a little adversity in our life.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right, wing to the right. They'll swing it out, little double screen here to Tarango, and he's going to take it across the 20 to near the original line of scrimmage, gain of 24. Midcap with the tackle. We've called his name a lot tonight. And it'll be about 3rd down and 10.5 for the first down.
Football is a great sport, isn't it, Adam?
Yes, it is. That was actually officially a gain of 6. 3rd down coming up here.
It's okay. We made a little bit. Now we got a 3rd and 11. Got
ball officially at the 24, 3rd and 10. Scott City 2 or 3 on 3rd down. We're going to have a timeout. Taken by Scott City with 6:10 to go first half. Did not like the personnel formation setup. We'll come back in a minute. 21-8 Beaver lead. This is Scott City football. On 3rd and about 10.5.
I think it's a legal procedure on Scott, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah, backing up here. Well, that's a tough play out of the timeout. 3rd penalty for Scott City on this quarter. So it's going to bring up 3rd and about 15, just across the 18 to close to the 19.
Key to the game, improvement. Are we improving?
The game clock should not be running. It's just the play clock that should be running. I think the official gave the wrong signal there. 3rd down and long halfway through the second quarter as Vogelmore rolls to his left, now under a little pressure, looking downfield, just guns it up for Mike Daniel. Oh, he had the catch, just went right by him, and maybe the arm swipe of Austin Collins may have distracted him a little bit. He had a step on Collins at the 43 of Wray, but it's going to be Scott City's first 3 and out of the night.
Collins might have got a finger on that, which changed the deflection of the ball, and but it hit McDaniel right in the chest.
First time tonight, Scott City will not score, and they will be punting for the first time. Jackson Rumford had 2 punts, averaged 41.5 yards per punt last week. It will be Austin Collins, Casey Midcap. They're standing around their own 40. They'll get good field position out of this, but that was a penalty-riddled drive for Scott City. An eyes end over and kick. It'll be taken by Collins. Oh, he muffs the punt. It's still loose on the turf, and Scott City's going to recover it at the 44-yard line. That is Ray's first turnover of the year. Midcap muffs the punt, and Peregrino gives the ball to the Beavers at their own 43.
Peregrino, yeah, the Ray kids thought the ball was already been covered up. They were looking the wrong direction. Ball just laying there on the football field.
Boy, that's a momentum killer for Wray. Scott said he'll take it when Wray was going to get the ball back just down 13. At the Wray 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Man in motion's going to be getting the carry here is going to be almost breaking at that time was Avery Knoll, but he's going to gain about 10.5 for the first down. And a nice run for Knoll on his 4th carry of the night. He'll take it across the 33 to the 32.
The Wray tackler must have just got a fingertip on his toes.
Yes.
To trip him up.
A little sweep action there for Knoll on his 4th carry. Scott City has had 6 different players carry the ball in this first half.
Awesome.
1st and 10 to 32-yard line. It's a keeper here. Or correction, yep. Nothing going there on the carry for Volgamore for nothing. 2nd and 10. Maybe he's got a couple of inches on that.
That looked like our single wing.
Yes. 5 minutes to go first half. 21-8, Scott City with the lead in the ball. Alex Turinga to bring in the play on 2nd down and almost 9.5 to go for the first down. Colby leads Holyoke, Colorado 7-0 after the first quarter. Holcomb 14-0 over Cimarron. Ulysses trailing 14-0. Play fake on 2nd down. Out and up pattern for Tarango. Or nope, they'll give it to Rumford. He'll make the catch, breaks through tackle. It's on the 10, breaks through another tackle. He's into the end zone. Touchdown Scott City. Jackson Rumford from 32 yards out from Colin McDaniel extends this lead to 27-8.
Wow, that was really pretty. The defender went up with Rumford right there. They both collided at the same time as the ball got there. But Rumford's size, he's so much bigger than the defender, just knocked the defender down, and he just took off for the end zone.
Scott City has 4 passing touchdowns in this first half. Danero Castillo in to attempt the extra point. Out of the hole to Colin McDaniel. The snap is good from Brogamore. Kick is on the way by Castillo. Yes, it's good. She is 2 for 2 tonight, as well as Junior Mesa. And the Beavers are back up by 20. 28-8 with 4:35 to go second quarter. We'll come back in 30 seconds. This is Beaver football. Drive 43 yards at 1:07, and for the second time tonight, it's Jackson Rumford making the 32-yard catch from Camden Volgamore. I was looking at Tarango, who was also open in the pattern, but he found the big tight end, the 6'6" frame, who has 2 touchdown catches tonight to match Colin McDaniel, and it's Danero Castillo who boots in the PAT. Rumford to tee it up and knocks this one deep. And this is going to take Meisner back to his own 5-yard line. Across the 10, 15, and is not going to make it to the 20-yard line. As that time in on the stop, helping starting that tackle surge by the Beavers was Alex Tarango, Griffin Edwards, and also in there for Scott City, the sophomore Kevin Wiebe.
You know, a week ago I watched some of Ray's game against Highland Park, and man, them Highland kids just would give up. You could just see it on the field.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't think there's been a Scott City kid give up on anything tonight.
Ray knew this was going to be a big test for them, and it has been so far. They had a nice scoring drive their last series, but muffed a punt that was recovered by Scott City. Slant pattern pass is going to be caught for a first down or near a first down on a slant pattern, and the catch is made by Ben Harms. They'll mark this from the 18 to the 26, gain of 8 on first down.
Nice catch and throw, and then there was a good hit on the end of it.
Third catch for 38 yards for Ben Harms. Midcap is 5 of 9 passing for 74 yards in this first half. 2nd down and 2. Midcap looking, surveys, rolls to his right. He's got a lot of room. He'll throw it instead, and in the flats, it's caught for a first down for Harms. As a tight end will barrel it across the 40 to the 44-yard line for another 18-yard pass play, or make that a 17-yard pass play.
They have a nice... Wray does a nice job throwing the football. I just can't believe they want to play in a single wing. But maybe that's the way. If they do that, they can run clock, shorten the game. But being down 20, they need to be hustling.
1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 44. 3:50 to go. Direct snap up the middle. This is the mid-cap. Breaks through. He breaks through for another first down. Almost broke it again. So he takes it across the 40 to the 36-yard line. And nice gain of about 20 on the play.
Wow. As soon as I talk about him throwing the football, what's he do? He runs for 20 yards straight up the middle on one side of the center or the other. I'm not sure which side he went on. Woo.
1st and 10, Wray Eagles at the Scott City 36 as they are showing some life in their offense their last 2 series. Empty backfield, 2 receivers to both sides, and a blocking back in front to the right of Midcap, who's going to be back to pass, looking right side all the way for Tana, and he will be the pass incomplete, and they're going to throw the flag out on that one. They're going to throw the flag on McDaniel, who do not turn around. I question that one a little bit because I didn't see enough contact to warrant a pass interference, but the officials thought otherwise.
Well, the ball actually hit McDaniel in the back of the top of the helmet, and I don't know. It looked to me like he had his hands on the receiver as the ball hit him in the back of the head.
So Scott City's 4th penalty for 35 yards. Wray has had one penalty for 15 here tonight.
Tina, number 19, who was supposed to receive that. He acted like he was a little shaken up after that play.
That'll move the ball to the 21 of Scott City with 3:20 to go first half. 28-8 Beaver lead. Empty backfield again for the Eagles. Direct snap. Quarterback will run right side, but Scott City's going to blow this up. That was all started as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That was all started on the right side of that defensive line for Scott City, knocking the blocking back, and nowhere to go for Midcap.
That's correct. That's what happened.
That's the 11th carry for Midcap in the first half for 52 yards.
Great penetration by Scott City allowed that to happen. Wray wanted to run to the right, got blowed up.
2nd and 10, 21 of Scott City for Wray, 28-8 Beaver lead. 2:45 to go first half. Back to pass, looking for a slant pattern, ball deflected. Oh, what a play! Oh, there's interference, but it's caught, and it's going to bring up a 1st and goal. What a play that time.
It sure was. The ball was thrown well before the receiver got even near where he was supposed to be, and he didn't get there because Scott City kid was in the way. So, I mean, it's pass interference, but what do you take? Do you take the play? Or
you take the play. It'll be worth more.
That's what I think.
Santizo with the diving catch at the 6-yard line, and it's a 1st and 10.
Yeah. Because it had only moved the ball to the, 10.5, and instead we're up at about the 7.
6th play of the drive for the Eagles coming up here with 2:35, and all of a sudden they're back in the red zone here. Been a tough couple of possessions for the Scott City defense. They do get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter, but love to get a 4-down stop here or a turnover. They'll move their wing tight end, a direct snap to Meisner up the middle inside the 5, and he gets drilled right at the 4-yard line. You can hear the oohs and ahs from the crowd as Tarango firing in there like a missile, limiting Meisner to a gain of a yard to the 5.
Sure was. He had some help on his inside, too, Tarango did. Man, good hit.
2nd and goal at the 5, under 2 to go first half. 28-8 is your score. Eagles into the red zone for the 2nd time in as many possessions as they have had it. Midcap, the shotgun formation, get it from Riggleman. Back to pass, he'll roll to his left on a bootleg. Finds it back of the end zone. Ball deflected and incomplete. Good break on that by Nolan. Also Chapman, the intended receiver in the end zone about 7 yards deep was Ben Harms. Sets up a 3rd and goal.
You know, when he rolled out there for that bootleg, I thought maybe he'd just going to take off and run with the ball. He had 3 guys in the pattern out ahead of him, though.
Wray is 2 of 4 on 3rd downs. A 3rd down and goal from the 5 of Scott City. 28-8 Beaver lead. 97 first half seconds remain. Empty backfield. A blocking back in there is going to be Eric Tracy. Back to pass. Looking right side. Pass incomplete. Too far. Trying to lead the intended receiver, Aaron Tana. At about the goal line, it sets up a big 4th down and goal from the 5 with 1:32 to go first half.
Oh, coach wants timeout.
Yep, that's the Wray coach, Levi Kramer, in his 17th year as the head man in Wray. We'll take a 30-second break with 1:32 to go before intermission. 28-8 Scott City, 4th and goal from the 5 in 30 seconds. This is Beaver football.
Life is
Football presented by Pokey Feeders, Platinum H Insurance, Plain Jan's, also New Life Market, Northern Supply, Miller Veterinary Clinic, Midwest Mixer, Metzger Appraisals, Metzger Family Farms, McCarty Family Farms, and Low Tree Farms and Livestock. So big 4th down and goal play for Wray. Out of their timeout, the Scott City 5, a 28-8 Scott City lead with 92 first half seconds remaining. Ray's going to open up kind of back in that empty formation. They'll have their blocking back, Eric Tracy, 170-pound junior, and a 4-receiver set. So really 4 players into the pattern on 4th and goal from the 5. Back to passes. Midcap, he'll tuck it up and run. Finds room left side. Touchdown, Wray. It was a delayed draw that time by Midcap. He's into the end zone from 5 yards out and makes it a 28-14 game with 1:27 to go first half.
Yep, our wideouts were pretty much man-to-man. Our linebackers had backed up, and good blocking by Wray up front. Wow, now they'll go for 2.
Yep. That was
yeah, go ahead.
Yep, that was a 3-minute, 8-second drive that covered 82 yards in 10 plays. So Wray into the end zone for the second time this quarter, trying to make this a 12-point game from the 3. Ball in the middle of the field. They'll send Tana in motion from right to left. He'll be a wing to the left, and it's going to be roll out to the right. And now Midcap looking to step up under duress, and he is going to be brought down at the 12-yard line. And a nice play by Cesar Peregrino denies Wray a 2-point conversion. 28-14 Beavers. 1:27 to go first half. We'll come back in 30 seconds. This is Beaver football.
for over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services.
The Wray Eagles marched it down 10 plays, 83 yards. They converted 4th and goal from the 5 and a Casey Metcalf delay draw from 5 yards out. The 2-point conversion was no good. A sack at the 12-yard line by Peregrino. So it remains a 28-14 game. Both teams scoring 14 second quarter points. The first quarter right now, the difference in this game.
They're a good team, Adam, and to think we got another half. Both teams are explosive on offense. This is the game that we thought we were going to see.
Well, I think the explosiveness, I don't know if anybody expected both teams to be more pass-heavy than rush-heavy in this first half.
Right. Scott City done a good job stopping, for the most part, Wray rushing, but, man, their passing is decent.
All right, here's the approach and the kick. It's a short squib kick. Avery Knoll catches it at the 45 and is hit immediately. That time by Wyatt Fonte, the 155-pound sophomore. So 1:22, 2 timeouts. Let's see how aggressive the Beavers are right before halftime.
Do you think Wray didn't do that surely on purpose? It was a whiff, don't you think?
I have no idea.
Man, why give Scott City great field position with 1:22 to go in the first half?
Now, give Scott City the 46-yard line. Brooks Baylor will be lined up as a receiver to the right, and then to the left we got Knoll and Rumford. 4 receiver set, pistol back as well. Back to passes, Volgamore on first down. Sets up, fires it deep for Tarango in the middle of the field. Comes back underneath, makes the catch inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. He's brought down that time by Samuel Meisner. A 27-yard pass play to the 26.
Man, we're in business, Adam.
All right. 1st and 10. They're up on the ball. No 2-minute drill. They'll spike the clock, stop the clock on 2nd down and 10. They're going to throw a flag on this. I don't know if it was Scott City not set.
No.
Or if Wray was offside.
Wray, 66, didn't have a man that reached the sideline by the time the ball was snapped. That's my thought. So they had 12 on the field, I think. He may pick it up.
Up they are going to wave the flag off.
Okay.
So Volgamore 7 of 9 in this first half for 179 yards and 4 touchdowns. Coach Jim Turner wants an explanation. He thinks that Wray was offsides as well. Chad Knight trying to explain to him. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. And Ray's only been penalized once this first half.
Really? How many Scott City?
4.
Oh, I love games when you don't have very many penalties.
Yeah, so they're winding the clock, and it should just be the play clock, not the game clock. Volgamore on 2nd down, but the officials passes picked off. Undercutting it was Austin Collins, and is brought down as they're going to call a horse collar and add 15 more. And so both teams with a turnover here with 1:03 to go first half, and Ray's going to get ball right near the 40-yard line.
Wray now has an opportunity with 1:03 to go in the ball game. They'll tack on 15. Where's that going to put the ball? 5, 10,
It'll be
15?
at the 23, 38-yard line.
Oh, they're calling a block in the back.
Okay, so never mind. I thought that was going to be a horse collar.
Oh, Adam, I did too.
So that'll change things there. That'll move it to the 15-yard line. So second penalty for Wray. But Scott City with a big turnover right before halftime, 63 seconds. The ball will be spotted at just outside the 15.
Scott City has 2 timeouts.
And same with Wray.
If they would, let's say Wray throws the ball and it's incomplete, stops the clock.
10 to snap it here for Midcap. Back to pass. He'll just tuck it up and run. Oh, he's tripped up in a nice play by Peregrino. Gain of 4 to the, make that 3 to the 19. But Peregrino, nice trip up. He's had a good first half.
I think everybody's going to just let this clock run down.
They're running up no huddle. Empty backfield, 2nd down and 7, 19-yard line. Back to pass is Midcap, looking left all the way. Pass is going to be down the seam and caught, and then delivering a blow is Avery Knoll right at the 39, 40-yard line. But Meisner makes the catch for a gain of 21.
Wow. 36 seconds. When they get the chain set, there he does. He starts the clock.
30 seconds to go first half. Wray not burning a timeout. They have 2 left. Midcap rolls to his right on 1st down under duress, and he is going to be sacked again. Second sack of the game for Scott City, and in on the sack that time was Case Armendariz at the 34. Wray burns a timeout with 23 seconds. We'll go ahead and keep it right here.
Well, the Wray quarterback rolled out to the right. That's the side on this opportunity. With our defense, that was where Rumford was. So Rumford was right after him, man.
So Austin Collins, who had his 2nd interception of the year on that last defensive stop there for Wray, and now the Eagles 2nd down and 16 at their own 34-yard line. But I tell you what, be a lot of adjustments for both teams in the halftime. Scott City seeing Wray move the ball at will down the field, really mainly just spreading Scott City out.
Well, would you say that last was a 8-play drive, and they went 82 yards in a 3-minute time span or something like that?
Yeah, the 308, and then their 10-play 82 and an 8-play 73-yard scoring drive. Those are their scoring drives in the second quarter in their last 2 possessions.
Yeah. So it's very doable for Wray to go 67 yards here.
Well, they have it at their own 34. 1 timeout, 23 seconds to go first half. Midcap on 2nd and 16, looking right. Pass is going to be caught. And then a nice open field tackle on the flats that time by Tarango on Ben Harms' 5th catch. It's good for 5 yards, and it sets up a 3rd down and about 11 here. And with 8 seconds, Wray, their maybe final play of the half. Pass is going to be overthrown and incomplete with 3.2 to go. And we may see one more play here on 4th down and 11 here with 3.2 to go first half.
Oh, yeah. One big, long pass. Burn up this clock.
They'll sub out Austin Snap, a sophomore. Well, the Wray Eagles, they do have 1 timeout. They'll get the signals from the sideline. on 4th down and 11 from their own 39. Wray is 1 of 1 on 4th downs. They scored on that touchdown. To make it 28-14, they'll run 4 receiver set. Blocking back in the backfield is Gonzalez. Back to pass is Metcalf. Final play of the half. Under duress. Oh, he sidesteps them, goes to his left. Now will try to step up, and he's going to be tripped up from behind, and a nice play that time by Oscar Mendez. Trips Metcalf up, who ends up getting back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll close out the first half. The Beavers survive that. We head to the locker room, and both teams scoring 14 second quarter points. It's 28-14 Beavers at recess over the Wray Eagles. We'll come back in 3 minutes for your halftime show and bring stats, scores, and you name it. After this 3-minute break, this is Beaver football.
With the summer temperatures, the Scott Recreation Commission invites you to come get fit inside their fitness center. No matter what your focus is, they feature a wide variety.
Great job, SCHS band. Once again, a reminder, we have snow cone machine in the northeast corner of the field by the field house.
Teams are high-powered offensively coming into tonight, and that second quarter definitely proved to be that.
That was fun, Adam. That's why people come to the ball games. back in the day, we might have a 7-0 game or 7-6, that kind of stuff. And that's exciting too, defense. But oh man, I kind of like offense. I like throwing the ball. I like quarterbacks and receivers and linemen that can block, pass block. What'd you prefer, pass or run block?
I almost run. I mean, you're more than likely going to pancake somebody when you run it, man.
Oh, anyway, it was fun. It was a fun second quarter. I'll look for more of the same in the third and fourth.
You betcha. We'll get to some of the stats here later on in the half. We're going to start off with our scoring summary here. Actually, before we do that scoring summary, just kind of ask you, kind of recap this first half. We thought going into the first half, going into the ball game, both teams, they're really run first. We thought it would be maybe just more of a ground game and see, maybe not as much passing, although we thought maybe Scott City would pass a little bit more. But really, both sides have passed the ball a lot more than they have run it in this first half than we thought.
Well, yeah, that's not what I expected. I expected Wray to do the single wing thing and just kind of control the ball, control the clock, and just slowly grind it out. But Scott City scored quickly twice, and it's 14-0. That pulled Wray out of their single wing, and man, we haven't seen much of the single wing here in the second quarter. And on Scott City's side, hey, what's working is the pass.
You're right there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that scoring summary here in the first half. Starting off for Scott City after they forced Wray to punt it on their opening series. The Beavers would go just 3 plays, 58 yards, and take 2:15 off the clock. And with 8:28 to go first quarter, on a third down pass play, it was Colin McDaniel, 51-yard reception from Camden Voldemore, and it was Junior Mason who knocked in the extra point to make it a 7-0 game. After a 3-and-out for Wray, Scott City would go just 2 plays and 68 yards, and it was the same connection, 62 yards this time. McDaniel from Voldemore and Dan Castillo would come in and boot in the PAT to make it 14-0. That would be the score after the first quarter. Scott City would have the ball for 4:23, one of their longest possessions of the first half to this point, an 8-play, 54-yard drive, and it would be capped off on a tight end drag play from 10 yards out on third down to Jackson Rumford from Camden Voldemore. Junior Mason knocked in the extra point to make it 21-0. But Wray would come down the field and they would score on all but one of their possessions in the second quarter. They would go 8 plays, 73 yards, and 3:45 for their opening score, and it was a 6-yard run by Casey Midcap, and the Tanya run for the 2-point conversion. The Aaron Tanya run would make it 21-8 with 7:38 to go first half. Scott City would go 3-and-outs. They had a couple of penalties that haunted them on that drive, but then a muffed punt by Wray. Scott City recovered at the 43 of Wray. And Scott City would take advantage of that. It'd be a 3-play, 43-yard drive in 107, and it was another connection to Jackson Rumford from Camden Voldemore, 32 yards out, and this time Dan Castillo would knock in the extra point to make it 28-8. And then Wray would come back down the field and score. They would take 3:08 off the clock with 1:27 to go on 4th and goal from the 5. It was Midcap with a 5-yard run. They would miss the 2-point conversion and make it 28-14. The Beavers would march it down the field to about the 26-yard line. They would throw an interception. Wray would be tackled on 4th down at about the 40-yard line to close out the first half. So that's where we're at here. 28-14, and kind of a shootout here at Darner Field here at the half. We're going to go ahead and step aside and take another 3-minute break, another 3-minute timeout. We'll come back with first half stats and then later on some scores and get you set up for the second half. This is Scott City Beaver football.
students and themselves are made in good faith and should be respected. Spectators can support both of these teams by refraining from derogatory or demeaning comments and cheer today. We hope that you will enjoy the game and support the students in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. More awesome tunes are coming up.
All right, we're back here at Darner Field in Scott City. Halftime continuing on as we're slowly rolling in some halftime scores and stuff. We'll get those to you a little bit later on here, but right now it's 28-14 for Scott City over Wray. Let's take a look at some of the first half stats here. As we take a look at this, Wray ended up with 196 yards of offense. They had 132 yards through the air, 9 of 14 passing for Midcap. He rushed the ball for 54 yards on 15 carries, had both of their touchdowns in the first half. Meisner came in as the state of Colorado's leading rusher, just 2 yards on 4 carries. And Tanya with 5, Lewis with 3 yards on a carry in that first half. Leading receivers, Ben Harms, he has 5 receptions for 60 yards. Sammy Meisner has done it in the receiving department. He had 3 catches coming into tonight and 2, make that, how about no catches coming into tonight? He has 3 for 57, and Angel Santizo with a reception for 15 yards. Wray was 2 of 6 on third down, 1 of 2 on fourth down. They had 11 first and 10s in the first half and just 2 penalties for 25 yards. For Scott City, it was Camden Volgamore, 7 of 10 for 179 yards, 4 touchdowns, but 1 pick right before the halftime. His first pick thrown of the year. But it was Colin McDaniel, 2 receptions for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jackson Rumford, 2 for 42 and 2 touchdowns. Avery Nola, 28-yard reception. Alex Tarango, 2 receptions, 34 yards. Leading rusher for Scott City, Colin McDaniel on 1 rush for 16 yards. Tracer Chapman, 3 for 12. Avery Nola, 4 for 11. Vogelmore was 6 on 3. Tarango with a 3-yard carry. And Griffin Edwards, 2 carries for 9 yards in that first half. Scott City was penalized 4 times for 35 yards. Also, they did have 9 first and 10s. They were 2 of 4 on third down, 1 of 1 on fourth down in that first half, were the Scott City Beavers. And that was both teams with a turnover in the first half. So that's kind of where it's at right there. 28-14 for Scott City. We'll take a 2-minute break. And Tim will join me, and we'll get set for the second half. Football with Scott City and Wray. Back in 2 minutes, this is Beaver Football.
Here's Odessa from Plain Jan's.
Plain Jan's, Plain Jan's, Plain Jan's. Oh, we do so many.
Professionals serving the needs of their community, offering a wide variety of services such as tubals, BioT hormone therapy, sleep disorder center, a variety of therapy services, including TMJ and pelvic floor therapy. Their specialty clinic has over 20 specialists and offers state-of-the-art equipment with 3D mammography and a brand new MRI suite. All this is located
Kansas matchup there tonight. It's 15-7 for Holyoke as they lead the Colby Eagles. Colby led 7-0 after the first quarter. Goodland and Burlington just kicked off about 18 minutes ago. It was an 8 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Mountain Time kickoff in Burlington. Halftime at Holcomb. The Longhorns 35-3 over Cimarron. And a big rivalry game with Hugoton and Ulysses at Maxwell Field in Ulysses at halftime. The Hugoton Eagles 27, Ulysses 7. A couple other 3A scores. Pratt all over Heston, 32-7 at intermission. Abilene over Concordia, 28-7. Also, Rat Creek 26-6 over St. Mary's. Also, Cheney over Garden Plain, 20-14. Hayden all over Silver Lake. It's not even close. 42-0 at the break. Cheney's over Garden Plain, 20-14.
20-14.
But no, Hayden. Speak of Hayden over Silver Lake, 42-0.
Wow.
Here it's 28-14 as we're going to be ready here for the second half here. They've already got the teams out there. What would you like to see in the second half for a Beaver victory?
More of the same. If we score another 28, we'll have 56. If they score 14, they'll have 28. We'll win.
We'll take that.
That's what I'm getting at. I just want to see more of the same. I want to see active football, good football, mistake-free football, both sides of the field. Let's have a good football game. And, of course, no injuries. We always pray for no major life-changing injuries for anybody in the game of football anywhere.
Aaron Tanner to kick this off in the middle of the field from the 40. He's had a couple of kind of squib kicks here in this first half. And he's going to kind of pooch punt this one. This will be, muffed! It's still loose, but picked up by Scott City. Oh, that was dangerous that time by Tracer Chapman, who jumped up to catch it, but he did fall on it in the nick of time. Scott City struggled with that at times here tonight, but they're going to get good field position at their own 37.
Well, they'll be talking to him about, is that the best thing to do?
Yeah. Oh, he dodged a bullet there. Brevin Volgamore is the center once again for Scott City. And then you have Emilio Contreras, Oscar Mendez, the guard, Tanner Good, and Braden Bruner, the tackles, 37-yard line. Handoff left side. Here's to Cullen McDaniel. Has room left side, 50. He sidesteps 45, 40-yard line, weaves his way through, 35, and almost broke another one inside the 35. Just his second carry of the night as he takes it to the 33-yard line on a 30-yard run.
That was that second man through thing, Adam. Second man through. Oh, this kid is, he's going down.
Oh, he got drilled at the point of attack. That's Austin Hendricks. He's got, you better go back down, young man. They're going to send Scott City toward the bench here. Coach Brian Gentry, boy, he was rocked, I think, on a block there.
They're calling for the ambulance now.
11:42 to go third quarter. That looked scary.
Yeah, I didn't see where he got hit, but it's definitely a concussion. When he got up, he started wobbling, and
they're going to bring in the Gator. We're going to take a timeout here. Let's take 2 minutes for now with 11:42 to go third quarter. 28-0 Scott City will come back in 2 minutes from now. This is Beaver football.
After every home game.
Looking for
More.
All right, we're back to action here quickly as they were able to take the defender for Wray. As first down carry for Avery Knoll. Turns it upfield, 25, and he's right at the 20-yard line. A gain of 13 for Avery Knoll on his third carry of the night for 20, or fifth carry for 24. So back-to-back first downs to open up the second half, Tim. They'll mark this at the 19.
Well, 2 plays, man. Running at that, Adam. Running plays.
And into the Lewis Automotive red zone is Scott City here. They've scored from in there once already in this ball game. First and 10, 19-yard line, opening moment of the second half. Handoff up the middle, Tracer Chapman. He'll go left side, or a stiff arm, but he gains 6 on first down to the 13. And brings up 2nd and 4. The injured player, Austin Hendricks, he did get up under his own power eventually and was taken off the field. That was a good sign to see there.
Yeah, they're over there taking his shoulder pads and stuff off of him.
2nd down and 4 for the Beavers at the 13 left hash mark as they move to the north end zone. Opening moments of this third quarter. Here's a sweep play, stretching it out. Here's Vogelmoor now will turn it up. He'll get the first down inside the 10 to the 7 on a gain of 6. And Scott City with a nice opening drive here so far on 3 plays, and they've got goal to go and 3 first downs.
Well, do you suppose that was the halftime talk? We're going to come out and we're going to run the ball and we're going to stick it right down their throat? You know, Scott City
Probably.
To Wray, I imagine.
Make that 4 plays and 3 first downs. It's goal to go from the 7. 10:38 to go, third quarter. Up 14 of the Beavers trying to extend their lead. As it's a pistol wing tee, they'll send a man in motion. It'll be a counterplay left side, and this time being tackled high was the ball carrier, McDaniel. And it's a gain of a yard to the, make it no gain for McDaniel. That's rare for him.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. That inside reverse thing's never been my favorite play. Sometimes when it works, it's my favorite play. You know how that is? Alan?
Yes. 2nd and goal from the 7. 2 minutes into the third quarter. Scott City up 28-14. Vogelmoor rolled to his left. He's under duress right away. Will fire in the end zone. Cut! Touchdown, Scott City! The catch made
Chapman
by Tracer Chapman, the 5th touchdown pass of the night for Camden Vogelmoor, and it's now 34-14.
Man, Vogelmoor did a good job there. He is under duress. I mean, I thought maybe the defender was so close he's going to knock the ball out of his hands, but he kind of put it over there, and Chapman caught it.
Chapman's first career touchdown reception and his 2nd overall touchdown of the year. This extra point on the way is perfect for Junior Mesa to make it 35-14. 9:51 to go, third quarter. The Beavers to kick off in 30 seconds. This is Scott City football.
Great Western Tire is happy to be a part of the Scott City.
The Beavers extend their lead out to 35-14, matching their largest lead of the night. That was a very efficient drive for the Beavers. They only had one play that went for nothing. As Jackson Rumford boots this one deep, and it'll be taken by Meisner at his own 4-yard line. Up the middle, 10-15, and he meets a wall of the digital camel blue at the 20-yard line. Underneath there on the tackle was Alex Tarenga. You had Ryan Lotta in there as well, among others, at the 20, 1st and 10 for the Wray Eagles on their opening series of the half.
Well, we'll see if Wray can march it down the field now, like they did in the second quarter. Slow, methodical, little rushes, passes.
Goodland leading Burlington, 12-8 after the first quarter at Burlington.
Good.
Big rivalry game there. Direct snap, Miser to go around the counter left side to Tana on first down, and Tana's going to be brought down for a gain of 1 to the 21-yard line. Alex Tarango, who came in with no tackles last week against Cimarron, he's been in on a slew of them tonight. 2nd down and 9.
Oh, that's fun.
Actually, they'll say no gain at the 21, 2nd and 10.
See, that was that counter thing, too.
Yep. It's similar formation as the pistol wing team, just out of the single wing there. And here's where Wray has been has hurt Scott City. Empty backfield, and we have movement on the right side of the slot receiver for Wray to bring up a 2nd and 15 for the Eagles.
I'll just mark him back another to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, bring up 2nd and 15 with 9:08 to go, third frame.
Well, not quite the 15, I guess.
They'll mark this in 16. Yeah, you mentioned the timeout, Tim. There's a haze over the field. I think that's part of the Canadian wildfire smoke that's come in this week.
Man,
haze.
Either that or it's the dirt from our fields, silage and corn cutting.
That too. Well, thanks to all you farmers. Hope you're enjoying it out there and listening to a great game for Beaver football tonight. 2nd down and 15. It'll be a quarterback delayed draw by Midcap. He'll go right. He'll take it to the original line of scrimmage and then stood up at the 21-yard line. That was much better pursuit that time by Scott City as McDaniel led the charge at the 21. Back to the original line of scrimmage where it's going to set up 3rd and 10. They'll say 22, 3rd and 9.
There's a good crowd here tonight, too, Adam.
Absolutely.
Just a wonderful crowd.
These stands on the home side seat about 1,500. I'd say there's probably a good 1,200, 1,300 with the student section and everything here on the Scott City side.
Lot going on here. Had a big hamburger feed before the game.
Eagles are 2 of 6 on 3rd down as we are at the 8:20 mark of the 3rd quarter, 35-14 Scott City. One man in the backfield. Back to pass. Fakes the draw under duress. Now here is almost a sack by Armendariz. Midcap now will throw it late. Finds a man in the middle of the field. And it's intercepted by Avery Knoll, who had 3 picks a year ago. He gets right in front of the intended receiver, Aaron Tana. The 2nd turnover of the night and the 2nd turnover of the year for the Wray Eagles. And Scott City will set up at the Eagle 41-yard line.
Well, that ball was kind of thrown across the quarterback's body. He escaped. Then he had defense right in his face, and he let go with it. It was a little soft. Should have been a clothesline throw, but it wasn't as soft. And that gave Knoll an opportunity to cut in front of the guy and catch the ball.
Wray came in +8 in turnovers tonight. They're -1. Scott City was -1 coming into tonight on turnovers. At the 41 of Wray, 1st and 10, handoff play right side, Avery Knoll trying to get to the outside, turns it upfield, 35, has a 1st down at the 30, and right at the 30. I tell you talk about a running back, Avery Knoll, he doesn't really want to bounce to the outside, Tim. He wants to run people over.
Well, he did on that one. It's like, as he was doing it, Adam, I'm going, why didn't you run to the sideline? You'd have probably gained another 10 yards. Maybe you could have outrun him. Instead, he planted his foot and went right into a Wray Eagle.
And not George Wray, so just to be more specific.
Okay.
29-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah.
7:40 to go, 3rd quarter. The Beavers after a pick by Avery Knoll with the ball up 35-14. Twins to the left side. You have McDaniel Trango to the left, wing to left as well. Here's a Chapman carry left side, has some room, turns it upfield inside the 25 and takes it for 9 to the 20 on 1st down. Austin Collins, the sophomore safety, with the tackle. Boy, you talk about a stable of horses in the backfield for Scott City. They've shown that in limited fashion tonight.
Yes, the way you said that in the first half, what do we have? 6 guys different guys carry the ball. That's awesome.
Scott City has had 4 different players carry the ball here in the second half. Ball at the 20, 2nd and about a yard with 6:55 to go, 3rd quarter. Here's up the middle for McDaniel. He'll get the 1st down and enter the Lewis Automotive red zone for the 3rd time tonight. Needed a yard. He got 2 on 2nd down. And he's got 4 for 48, and all that did was just deflate his yards per carry.
No kidding. I mean, his yard per carry has got to be unbelievable.
Oh, yes. So at the 19-yard line, 1st and 10, as Brooks Bailey enters the ball game as a receiver to the left. 19-yard line of Wray. 6.5 to go, 3rd quarter. It'll be an option pitch play right side. Noel will sidestep, and he makes about 2 yards out of nothing. It looked like it was going to be stopped in the backfield. Good job by Aaron Tanner to turn it up, but it'll be up second down and long after yard right carry for Knoll.
I like that true pitch thing. You got to be good at it when you do that pitch, and it's not easy. But Vogelmore has got that down. He seems to, and Knoll seems to be. Well, we've seen. I think McDaniel last week maybe got one of them, but Knoll for sure has been getting those pitches. Good hands.
By the way, in at that corner spot is the sophomore Wyatt Fonte for Wray. Second down and 9, almost a legal shift. Play fake. They'll swing it out to left. Oh, nice reel in that time by Griffin Edwards. He reeled that in pretty good. He got the bait out on the hook there, reeled it in for a gain of about 8.5, setting up 3rd and short.
Yeah, on an out pattern, and defense was just right on him, and he really had to stretch to catch that ball out in front of him. That was a beautiful thrown ball by Vogelmore. He put it out in front where he had to go get it.
3rd and a yard. Chapman, the tailback, he'll get the carry. He'll have a first down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 7-yard line. He gained 2, needed 1. Scott City now 3 of 5 on 3rd downs, and their 15th 1st and 10 makes it 1st and goal. Arms with the tackle. Chapman tonight, 6 carries for 29 yards. He has a receiving touchdown from 7 yards out, and that's where Scott City is. 4:50 to go, 7th play of the drive. This will be a carry left side. Here is McDaniel. He sneaks in the left pylon for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year from 7 yards out. He has 55 on 5 totes, and it's 41-14 with 4:46 to go, 3rd quarter.
Kind of a jet sweep, Adam, in some ways. We put the guy in motion, then we snap the ball and we hand it to him. See that? Was that in the Chiefs game last night where they snapped that ball and it hit the guy in motion?
I think so. There was a lot of bad things there. Here's a low kick by Daenerys Castillo, but she does good enough to split the uprights to make it 42-14. She is 3 of 3 on point after tries tonight. As we go to a 30-second break, 4:46 in the 3rd, 42-14. The Beavers rolling here tonight. Come back in 30 seconds. This is Scott City football.
Service, what they sell.
Football tonight brought to you by our great sponsors. Once again, Fro Electric, Fro Ag Service, Fro Heating and Cooling, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Neil Baker, First National Bank, Fairleigh Companies, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Huenberta Benz, and DeKalb Bear. Well, after the Avery Knoll interception, Scott City gets a 7-yard run from Colin McDaniel on a 7-play, 41-yard drive in 3:22. So Scott City has cashed in on 14 points off of 2 Wray turnovers tonight. Daenerys Castillo booted in the PAT. And who would have thought Scott City football, if they would score 6 touchdowns in the night, that their first rushing touchdown would come on their 6th touchdown of the game?
They're off air, and that's kind of surprising.
Here's a deep kick. Rumford has booted a bunch tonight. This will take a couple bounces, and Meisner's like, I'm not going to return this, and let it go in the end zone. First touchback of the year for Rumford, and Wray will take over at their own 20 with a 28-point deficit.
Wow. Adam, I think Scott City is really good this year.
This is the most points scored by either side in this series. You remember, or you would know this, back in '95, Wray came in here and shut out Scott City 21-0.
Yeah, I was here.
That was their second trip ever to Scott City. They're 10-10 last 20 games against teams from Kansas. That pass on first down incomplete, a little bit wide of the intended receiver, Ben Harms, 2nd and 10.
Say that again about what's their record against teams from Kansas?
In the last 20, or since 2010, I should say, I got that wrong. So last 20 games, or since 2010, Wray is 6-6 coming into tonight against teams from the Sunflower State.
Okay.
Scott City is 9-1 all the time against Colorado teams. This is the first team from Colorado in 19 years to come to Scott City. That was Crowley County back in 04. Up the middle for Midcap on second down. He has nowhere to go. In fact, he'll lose the yardage back to the 19. Tanner Gooden in there. He'll make a stop. Name Scott City Beaver defender. He was back there. 3rd and 11 coming up.
Wow, yeah, they didn't stand a chance on that one.
No, he didn't.
Vasquez at 320 pounds was in on that too. Man, I wouldn't want him squashing me.
For sure. 3rd down and 11 for Wray. Ball at their own 19. 42-14 Scott City. 4 minutes to go third quarter. Wray tonight on 3rd down, just 2 of 7. Empty backfield to the blocking back behind the right guard. They'll cut at the line. They'll go with the slant pattern. Pass is caught in a nice play by Camden Volgamore on the slant pattern to Ben Harms, stopping him at the 27-yard line. The man who tried to cut, I think Vasquez, is a little shaken up after that play. I believe that's Brody Richards, that sophomore.
His back, it's hurt his back. He's hanging in there.
But Midcap has thrown for 139 yards tonight, and he has hit Harms 6 of those for 67. Second 3 and out of this third quarter for the Wray Eagles. The last one came on a punt. Deep to return is Alex Tarango, sending his own 40. Here's the approach and the kick. A high kick, spiraling kick. It's taken by Tarango at the 47-50, and then it gets hit at the 43-yard line of Wray. Takes it for about 10 yards after about a 30-yard punt. With 3:12 to go third quarter.
You know, I said Vasquez, I wouldn't want him squashing me, and it made me think of a story. Years ago when I was working with the Kansas Pregame magazine, I went into Randy Dreiling in Hutch High back in his day when he was winning all them state championships, and we got to talking. He wanted to know how could he keep the squash bugs off his squash in his garden at home. What a conversation. Now, he's the coach at St. Thomas Aquinas up in Kansas City.
Little did he know he'd be coaching a 4A school for football.
Right, yeah, and really good 4A school.
Pistol wing tee, 1st and 10. Avery Knoll goes in motion from left to right. It's going to be a draw play, left side, and this is Knoll. He'll lose a yard back to the 44.
That looked like they blew the whistle and everybody quit moving, Adam.
Yep, 2nd down and about 12. Loss of 2 on that play. That's the first negative play of the second half for Scott City. This is a good Wray, Colorado team in 1A. They knew this was going to be their biggest test. Scott City knew this was going to be a big test. You'll have McDaniel and Bailey split to the left on 2nd down with the pistol back. Volgamore has good timing. Looking downfield, he's going to go for the home run ball for McDaniel. Jump ball, Hill will make the catch in between two. Hill try to break through a tackle and dragging a Beagle down to the 2-yard line. Hanging on for dear life that time was Fonte and make that Arantana. But a 43-yard, make that a 42-yard pitch and catch, and it's goal to go for the Beavers.
Well, Scott City got lucky on that one. That was a duck. You know, that was a quacker of a throw. It was flopping around. It was underthrown. It was really a jump ball situation, and McDaniel just won the jump ball. Great. That looked like a baseball hit into the stands. You got all these people wanting to catch it.
Goal to go. Scott City into the Lewis Automotive red zone yet once again, trying to push closer to their season high points, kind of the half diamond formation. Knoll up the middle, and he's got his first rushing touchdown of the year. Touchdown Beavers with 2:08 to go third quarter. The floodgates have opened in period 3. It's now 48-14 as the cannon fires at Darner Field. Wow.
I agree with that. Wow. Well, we knew Scott City this year was really outstanding. This was going to be a good test. Wray, like I said in pregame, they're a 1A school, but Scott City would be a 1A school if we were in Colorado.
And
missed it.
Extra point for Junior Mason, no good. His first miss of the year. But it's 48-14 Scott City. 2:08 to go third quarter. We'll come back in 30 seconds for the kickoff. This is Beaver football. Back here at Darner Field in Scott City, 4-play, 43-yard drive in just 65 seconds. And Avery Knoll, number 16, finds pay dirt for the first time in 2023. The extra point by Junior Mesa missed. And it's 48-14 for the Beavers with 2:08 to go third quarter. This is then a 20-0 run in this third frame for Scott City.
You know, I know that they're working on the schedule for next year. We need to talk about that a minute or two.
End over and kick here for Rumford. It's going to be taken this time at the 8-yard line. Here as Meisner goes up the middle, 10-15. Oh, across the 25. One of his better returns of the night. And he'll take it to the 27-yard line. And once again, it was Cesar Peregrino with another special teams tackle.
Well, we've got the Oklahoma City Millwood coming next week. We played Colorado this week, but next year, I'm not sure what's happening there.
Yeah, we'll find. We'll know a little bit more when they release kind of the classifications. That'll be a start, and then probably more than likely, wouldn't be surprised if we have the same district Scott City does as they do this year for the next 2 years. But anyways, first and 10, 29-yard line, left hash mark, late third quarter. There'll be a keeper play, and breaking it across the 30 is going to be Samuel Meisner, just his 5th carry for 4 yards. Baylor Vasquez and McDaniel with the trip up, second down and about, we'll call it 8 at the 31.
Now, Meisner's the kid that a week ago had 315 rushing yards.
Yes.
Yeah, how disappointing would that be to have 4 yards at this point in the game?
No kidding. Second and 8, 31-yard line, 90 seconds, third period, 48-14 Beaver lead. Empty backfield, blocking back to the right. Here is Midcap. He's throwing the ball well tonight, past the right side, 7th catch for Harms, and it's a duo of Beavers taking him down, and about 2.5 yards shy of the first down at the 36. Camden Volgamore and also Colin McDaniel with the tackle at the 36. Gain of 5.
Good defense right there. 2 guys, 2 Beavers. Wouldn't let him go. No broken tackles.
Third down and about 2.5, 3 yards for Wray, just across the 35. Under a minute to go third quarter, 15 on the play clock, 48-14. Scott City with the edge. Empty backfield. The blocking back to behind the right guard. Back to pass is Midcap. He'll delay it now. He'll just tuck it up and run it right side. There's a flag coming out. I tell you what, he'll be about a yard shy of the first down at the 38, but Scott City sold that hole. Did you see I think it might have been Rumford maybe or Armendariz, who held his hands up like he was held. He was blocked in the back there.
Well, he was held up.
Yes.
Oh.
Chad Knight. 3 flags are on the field there.
So they all saw it.
Well, there's only 2 that are not with the party there. Coach Jim Turner may take this play. Well, at first, no, he was just seeing where it would be spotted. It's a 10-yard from the line of scrimmage. At the 26. 4th penalty, 40 yards for Wray, so it sets up third down and 12. Back to pass, Midcap. He's just going to go for the home run ball, a little wheel route, and the pass is hauled in by Meisner across the 40-yard line in Scott City territory. Boy, what a breadbasket catch there for a gain of 34.
Well, that time, now that's the same. Oh, Adam is coming back.
Oh, but it's all for naught. Oh, man, that's a tough blow for Wray.
Oh, that's too bad. I feel bad for him. They've been trying. That's the same play they've tried several times, and quarterback and wide receiver weren't on the same boat. Same play.
Wray may have something after tonight. They came in averaging 63.5 yards per game through 2 games through the air. They've thrown for 144. They may be a little bit more explosive than they thought originally.
Well, okay, now you're going to start the clock.
They're going to mark this at the 17. 5th penalty of the night for 50 yards. Third down and 20. Under 20 seconds to go third quarter. Ball's at the 18. Actually, they got to get it to the 38-yard line under duress. Rolling to his right. Midcalf almost brought down once. Steps up. He'll just throw it away dangerously toward the Scott City sideline. Alex Tringan needed about 2 more yards of boundary for a pick. It's going to bring up a 3 and out after back-to-back holdings on Wray. Yeah,
that's too bad.
And all that did was burn off a lot more time. So this Scott City defense has really been focused here in this second half.
Yeah, so's the offense. Well, good test, boy. Next week's going to be a great game, too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Felipe Kranz at a punt. Fourth time tonight, he boots this, angles it right side. It's going to take it across midfield, across the 45, and takes a nice roll down the Scott City sideline to the 38-yard line with 1 second to go. We do have a flag over on the far side at about the 35-yard line in Wray territory, so hold the phones here with 1 second to go, third quarter.
Well, he's talking about a hold against us or blocking
Looks
the back.
like holding on Scott City. So all that do will back it up to the 28-yard line.
I can't believe that ball stayed in bounds for an additional 10, 15 yards.
That was a 44-yard punt out of all that. Well, hold on, Scott City, the second team in there, and they got one snap. It's going to be Peyton Bergner at quarterback for Scott City. Whole new second unit out there. Little mixture of ones and twos on the line. Mainly, actually, still the first team line. The penalty will back up the Beavers. Fifth penalty for 45 yards tonight. They're going to mark this at their own 28 with 1 second to go, third quarter. Fourth series of this third quarter. Handoff up first down. Goes for a 2-yard loss to the 26 for, I believe that's end of the third quarter. That was Pierce Vallejo. 3 quarters in the book. Scott City with a 20-point third quarter. They lead 48-14 as we head to the fourth quarter. Back in a minute. This is Beaver football.
At Red Barn Enterprises, we're not here.
Scott City loves to take care of your large or small animals as much as you love caring for them. Doctors Callista Miller, Stacy Rogers, Ellie Minix, and staff provide quality and compassionate care for your pet's health. They invite you to bring your animals in for checkups to keep their health in top shape. Miller Veterinary Clinic is also a full-service clinic and offers quality care with their boarding and grooming facility. Animal health supplies and foods are also available. Miller Veterinary Clinic, South Highway 83 in Scott City, where they have compassionate care for all of God's creatures.
Fourth quarter set to commence here. Football brought to you by Clint's Diesel Repair, Shells, Flyers, More, Brookover Cattle Company, Burning Farms, Beef Belt, Beavertown, FFL, Bartlett Green, B&H Paving, American Implement. Second and 12 for Scott City as play resumes. It was a 20-0 run for the Beavers in that third quarter. They lead it now 48-14, second and 12. Bergner will run a quarterback sweep. Now he'll tuck it inside as a flag will come out. He'll take it across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. A gain of 6, but they're going to probably bring this one back.
Got another kid down for Wray.
Yep. That is...
Oh, he's got a cramp.
Ben Harms. First time we've seen cramps all year. We really didn't see any last week. But it's going to come back more than likely with 11:51 to go.
Yeah.
You mentioned, Tim, we do have Millwood Falcons coming into town next Friday night. They do not play tonight.
Really?
They're playing tomorrow, and they're play Douglas out of Oklahoma City. I believe it's because of Frederick Douglass, Douglas, Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. I remember it from last year. But
yeah,
I love the name of it's a rivalry game. I love the name of their rivalry game. It's called the Soul Bowl.
The Soul Bowl?
Yes. I say that is one of the best names for a rivalry game I've heard.
I love it.
I do too.
I love
They're
that.
probably watching tonight. But looking forward to seeing them come to town. They're going to be loaded coming up into town next week. Yeah, they're 0-1, but they lost to a top-ranked team in Oklahoma, Heritage Hall.
Yeah.
Made it a game in the second half, but lost big last week. That's a team that's Millwood. They do have a Division I commit on their team, a senior or junior, that's being looked by several Division I schools, Power 5 schools at the receiver spots. They were a team that was just a couple of minutes away from winning a state championship a year ago, and Scott City really gave them one of their toughest games of the year last year.
Yeah. Well, you know, my brother was the head trainer at the University of Tulsa for 13 years, And I went down there a lot back in those days. And then we, an athletic director in Oklahoma, he put together 2 all-star teams, and I got to go on this trip. And we went to New Zealand, we went to Australia, and played against each other over there. These 2 teams from Oklahoma, all-star teams, and then we came back to Hawaii and we played Los Angeles County All-Stars. And I was just really impressed with the Oklahoma players, the level of football that those kids played. One of those kids ended up being a K-State extra point kicker, field goal kicker for 4 years back in those days.
Yeah, the running back from Millwood last year, Ricky Hunt, he's actually at Ohio University. He went there in December. But that's a loaded team. That's going to be exciting to see next week here in Scott City, and a good challenge.
I'm going to be excited to see it.
After the penalty, 2nd down and 22, and now under duress. Oh, he got hit, fumble. Scott City recovered inside the 5-yard line. Bergner got hit on the backside, hit that time by Tavery Chappell, a 205-pound junior. Talking with Coach Kramer from Wray, he talked about him. He was going to be an integral part of their team last year, but blew his knee out in wrestling over the summer, and so he was unable to play last year. That's a big loss all the way to the 5. It's going to be a loss of 11 after the fumble, and it's 3rd down, and you almost have to go to Friend for first down. I would say shallow water, but that's almost too close. First couple minutes of this 4th quarter be a sweep play right side, and taking it across the 5, and a nice little run to near the 10-yard line. See who this young man is. That was Caden Couchman. He's first carry of the night. He'll take it for about 5 yards on 3rd and long. It'll bring up 4th and long coming up. Scott City now 3 of 6 on 4th down tonight.
Well, we'll see if Rumford, how far he can punt this ball out of that end zone.
Brevin Vogelmore, who tabbed himself on social media the other day as the best grain cart driver west of the Mississippi, snaps it to Rumford, who's a couple yards deep in his own end zone. High, spiraling kick. There's a lot of hang time on that. Meisner lets it go. It takes a Wray bounce, and then caught by Cullen McDaniel at the 48-yard line. A 42-yard punt, no return with 10:24 to go.
Like I said last week, that's college-level height, wasn't it?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Well, Scott City has enough speed that you can get a lot of your players to the ball quicker.
Yes. I guess what we should have done was time from the moment of the punt till it come down.
When I was watching film the other day, I thought about that myself. I was like, I need to get some of these. Well, we're getting some new players in. Adrian Ellicott, a 200-pound senior into the game for Scott City along the D-line. Griffin Edwards in there. Get some young faces in there. Kelton Cook at an outside backer. Ball at their own 48 for Wray, 1st and 10. Casey Midcap, the quarterback, and it's a direct snap actually to Samuel Meisner. He'll gain about 4 yards on 1st down to the Scott City 48-yard line. Hit up top by Alex Tarango. And Avery Nolan there, he may have got hit by the funny bone there. So gain of 4.
Probably by one of his own teammates. Everybody wanted in on that pile.
2nd and 6. Under 10 to go in this game, 48-14 Scott City. So the win tonight here, we'll tell you about this after this play. Take the counter right side, keeping it as Meisner. He'll gain about 4 yards to make it, 4 to the 44, setting up a 3rd and 2. In there, a couple of Beavers on the tackle. McDaniel in there. So it's been 4 and 4 on the carries for Meisner. Vasquez checks out.
Last time we lined up, it looked like we had 6 down linemen. Well, we got our 2 defensive ends. We got 4 down linemen and 2 defensive ends.
It's kind of a 6-2 look. Direct snap. Here's left side for Meisner, trying to follow his lead blockers. He'll end up getting the 1st down to the 41. He needed 2. He got 3. McDaniel with another tackle. And it's going to bring up the 1st and 10 for the Wray Eagles. Their 4th 3rd down conversion of the night.
Well, if they keep the ball on the ground, they'll run run clock a bunch here.
What I was going to say here, more than likely with this win tonight, Coach Jim Turner, he is going to tie Bill Arnold for the third most wins in program history as a head coach at 56.
Very good.
Midcap will be back to pass on first down and duress. He'll check it up and run. 35 outside near a first down at the 32. A gain of 9. Escorted out of bounds by Alex Trango, but not before a gain of 9 on his 18th carry for 68 yards. Second and a yard coming up.
If they'd have had one of them yard marker things over on this side, I bet he would have cut it upfield enough to get the 1st and 10. But, you know, he's on the opposite side, so he didn't know where it was.
You're right there. Second and, well, he's about a half a yard shy.
What'd you think about that Chiefs game last night?
Well, defense was good. Offense dropped the ball.
Man, we've caught
the receivers did, I should say.
Ball way better than the Chiefs did last night.
Midcap looking right side on second down. A little bit too high. Got a little too excited. Ben Arms had it wide open. Now he's cramping again.
Yeah, he jumped in the air real high, and then he cramped.
Midcap tonight, 11 of 20 for 144 yards, passing in an interception, and we'll have a 3rd and 1 coming up here. Mentioned it's this is the first of 3 home games for Scott City in succession. Homecoming next Friday night with Millwood. I believe it's the first time they'll be crossing into Kansas to play football. Of course, this is military nights next, and then 2 weeks it's TMP Marion, and then it gets real after that. That's when districts play at the 30th of September at Hugoton, or 29th, excuse me.
Very good. Well, let's see. We play Millwood, and then we play TMP?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. Well, last year TMP was a ball game.
Yes, it was.
They had a good team. Wasn't that 28-14 a year ago?
And that time, Scott City, I believe, held TMP negative yardage, if I'm not mistaken. It was a fumble return and a kickoff return by Harris, who's redshirting at Fort Hayes with Lawson Bailey there.
And Millwood, we lost that game about 30 to 20. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and that was a game where, it was tight going into the fourth quarter, and Scott City had a lead with about 10 minutes to go, and Millwood was pretty impressive, those last 2 touchdowns.
Well, they just kept throwing it. Didn't they have a freshman quarterback?
Yes.
And he just kept throwing it.
He was in at quarterback at times, and then they had a different quarterback as well at other times in their game against Heritage Hall. By the way, that Heritage Hall out of Oklahoma City, famous alum there. I was going to say he played for the Patriots, Wes Welker.
Oh, yeah.
And he's alumni there, played at Texas Tech, went to the Patriots for a while, and I think Broncos for a little bit. They're still stretching out the intended receiver, Ben Harms, by the way. And while we have that opportunity, we're here on KSKL Scott City. Let's get you some scores. Final from Holcomb, 49-10 for Holcomb over Cimarron. So the Longhorns are now 1-1. They'll head to Ulysses next week. Speaking of Ulysses, Hugoton with a 35-7 lead at the end of the third quarter from the GWAC. Goodland over Burlington at the end of the first quarter, 12-8. Last check, it was Holyoke over Colby at halftime, 15-7. That's what we have for the league scores.
Okay. Sound like pretty good ball games?
Yes, I'd say so.
Oh, the league is going to be tough this year.
It is every year, and I tell you what, if you can compete in this league, you can compete pretty well overall. Anyways, we're back to action, 3rd and a yard. Midcap will try to take it under, or he has to go to his left as he takes a direct snap, and he gets 2 yards for the first down on his 19th carry for 70 yards and a 1st and 10 Eagles at the Scott City 30-yard line. Bringing Alicon back in. Mixture of 1s and 2s in there for the Beavers. Kelton Cook in there.
Tarango's still out there.
Also in there, Juan Rodriguez, a 210-pound junior. He's at one of those D-tackle spots. Empty backfield from the Scott City 30. 7th play of the drive. Rolling to his right is Midcap looking right side. Passes too far. An intended receiver over on the far side was the sophomore Austin College. Cam DeVolgamore on the coverage. 2nd down and 10. That stops the clock with 8:04 to go in this game. I don't know about you, Tim, but this fourth quarter seems like it has taken about the same amount of time as the first 3 quarters combined.
Yeah, Yeah, I thought the same thing.
We've had the the cramps and everything.
Yeah, we've had. Well, in the second half, we've had that kid from Wray who we thought got concussed. Who knows what happened to him?
2nd and 10. Midcap will take the snap, looking to his right. Pump fakes, finds a slant pattern in the middle.
Oh.
And caught. Oh, they're going to throw a targeting foul on Knoll on that.
Yep, they will.
Wow. The catch was hauled in at the 16-yard line by Angel Santizo. Make that the 18-yard line.
It's amazing the kid hung on to the football.
To me, that's not targeting because he led with his shoulder. Now, the officials are talking this over right now. It was such a bang-bang play.
It was a bang-bang play. Now, here he's going to make the call.
Dead ball, personal foul on Scott City. They're just going to call it a personal foul. I disagree with the call. That was just a good hard hit.
Well, we don't want anybody getting hurt.
No.
And, man, back in the day, that's the kind of things you wanted to see, but not today.
Well, and the player was all right. All you got to say is good play, Avery, on that one. Tried to jar the ball loose. It's a half the distance goal play to the 9 or penalty.
If Avery would have been removed from the game, he couldn't have played first half next week. Is that how that goes?
I don't think that's a high school rule, but
I don't know either. I know it's in college.
1st and goal at the 9 for Wray with 7:48 running clock in this fourth quarter. Austin Snap is a blocking back. A direct snap from Midcap. He'll just take it up the middle inside the 5. And he's tackled by Knoll at the 1-yard line, and Knoll did not rough him up that time. 2nd and goal.
Wow. That's a nice run.
And 2nd and goal at the 1 for Wray. Their 10th play of the drive coming up here with 7:20 to go. And no, I agree. It is a safety issue. It was a hard thud there, but to me, it wasn't a targeting or personal foul. It's just contact with the shoulder. That's where I kind of disagree with it, but the officials made the call. 2nd and goal, high snap, but it's going to be a walk-in touchdown for Midcap. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the night, and Wray has 20 on the board with 7 minutes to go. And they run off 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
So Casey Midcap, who had 4 rushing touchdowns coming in tonight, has 3. He also has a punt return for a touchdown as well. And they will go for 2 from the 3. 48-20 your score. Man in motion, that is Samuel Meisner. He'll get the jet sweep right side, and he'll be in for the 2-point conversion to make this a 48-22 game. 7 minutes exactly to go. 48-22. Scott City with the lead. Back in 30 seconds. This is Beaver football. Eight to 22 is your score with 7 minutes to go. That scoring drive, by the way, for the Wray Eagles covers 58 yards on 10 plays, 3:24 off the clock, and it was a Casey Midcap yard run as they converted a couple 3rd downs on that series. Did the Wray Eagles? Scott City has maybe the hands team out there. And this will be good practice for them as well.
Absolutely.
They haven't really seen that much all year. It's going to be a different kicker for Wray. This is going to be Jaden Whitty, the 150-pound junior, who will try his leg here.
He wanted to take 3 steps back, and everybody's in the way, or 5, and everybody's in his way.
So here we go. Well, he'll kick this a little bit deeper. Here's a catch by Cesar Peregrino, 35. He'll take it across the 40. Hang on to that ball as he takes it to the 41-yard line.
Oh, my gosh.
With 6:55 to go.
Peregrino, he's quite the ball player, man. He is.
He is just
into that contact. You can tell when he got that ball, he's just going to run right up there. He didn't down it or anything. I love it.
Second series for Peyton Bergner at quarterback as we get some more players in and out. Ryan Lotta in there.
Out there shaking his head.
Tegan Feely in there. Cesar Peregrino in there. And tight end is Caden Holstein to the right. 1st and 10. They'll send Peregrino in motion. And a handoff goes left side. This is to Pierce Vallejo. He'll get maybe a couple of inches on 1st down, making it 2nd down and 10. So Ray's starting to sub in some players as well. This is a pretty young Ray team. They have about a little over a fourth of their team as freshmen.
Yeah, only 3 seniors on the roster.
Jack Leitner is a wide receiver to left on 2nd down as Bergner back to pass, setting up a little middle screen. It's caught by Holstein. He'll go left side. Holstein with a 1st down. Inside the 45, inside the 40. Lowers the shoulder down the left sideline. Oh, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 31. Oh, man, the sideline robbed him of a varsity touchdown.
Oh, man, he was upset, too.
A nice 18-yard pass play. Bergner, his first varsity completion for a 1st down to the 31. A gain of, make that 28.
Adam, there's nothing like it when you're a sophomore, junior, they got to stand on the sideline, and finally you get into the game. It's awesome.
1st down, play fake. Bergner swings it out to the right. Pass, a leaping catch that time. As Cesar Peregrino, he'll take the catch at the 27-yard line for 4 more.
See, he still got contact. He landed on the turf hard. There's no wonder why he gets to play.
Yes. A gain of about 4 to the 27. 2nd down and 6. Under 6 to go here in this 4th quarter. 48-22, Scott City with the lead. Pistol wing tee with twins to the right. They'll hand it off in a sweep play right side. Almost losing that was Caden Catchman. He will retrieve it, but no gain on his 2nd carry of the night, setting up 3rd down and 6.
I thought we had 5 men in the backfield that time.
It was close. Angel Santiza with the tackle. They have also out there, does Ray at the 1 corner spot. Edna Gonzalez, a junior. 3rd and 6 for Scott City, who's 3 of 6 on 3rd downs tonight.
The referee and crew, they probably swallow the flags the rest of the game. They're ready to go home.
Here's a handoff. Vallejo left side. Nice burst. 20, 15, 10. Vallejo actually at the 11, just outside the 10, but a nice burst up the middle for 17 on 3rd down. And he's had some good runs so far through the first couple of games in varsity play. He has 3 rushes for 15 yards and a 1st and 10 for the Beavers with the 6th play of the drive coming up for this 2nd unit. This is a good warm-up for them for Monday. They'll be up at Colby.
Yeah, I was going to say, where are we playing at? Up in Colby?
Yep.
There won't be no JV against Ray. It's too far.
Into Lewis Automotive red zone. Man in motion. It'll be a keeper by Bergner. He'll roll to his left. He'll keep it inside the 10, inside the 5, and near another 1st down at about the 5. That'll stop the clock with 4:28. A gain of 7 on 1st down for Bergner. Carranza with a stop. Marked at the 5. So 2nd down. It should be 2nd and 4 with 4:28 to go. Make that 2nd and 3. Bergner sends a man in motion, hand up the middle. Here's Catchman, lowers his shoulder, and he is in. Touchdown, Scott City. A 50-burger on the board tonight for the Beavers as Beavers score 55. And Caden Catchman with his first varsity touchdown of his career from 5 yards out.
Awesome. That's exciting for the JV.
Sure is.
To do that stuff. Get in there, play well. Score a touchdown.
Couchman with a 5-yard run with 4:22 to go.
We're going for 2?
Yep, from the 3-yard line, pistol set, hand up. Nope, play fake, rolling to his right is Bergner. Looking for the tight end, or no, wide receiver to the right. He underthrew it and incomplete. And intended receiver was Tegan Feely. 2-point conversion failed, but 55-22 Beavers with 4:22 to go. Back in 30 seconds. This is Scott City football.
Life is all about. Activities.
KSKL, Scott City, powered by Wheatland Electric, committed to improving the lives of their members and the community they serve. Wheatland Electric, delivering energy for life, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Adam Kadavy, Tim McGonigal, Melody Toscana with you here from Darner Field in Scott City. A 7-play, 59-yard drive for the second team unit. Caden Couchman with his first varsity touchdown. 2-point conversion failed. Junior Mesa gets his second kickoff attempt of the year. He has it teed up at the 40-yard line. That student section has been into it all night. Meisner will take it from his own 14-yard line. Up the middle, right side. Bounces it out 25, 30, 35 to the 37 as the late flag flies with 4:14 to go.
That was a nice kickoff, Adam.
Yes, it was.
Well, he didn't have the height, but it sure did have some distance.
Cade John with that tackle. 4:14 to go.
Good for Cade.
And we're going to have a flag on the play. Ball is officially marked to the 38. There's a flag. They haven't. It must be against Scott City. They're marking it forward.
Oh, I thought.
Well, what is it? He did not make the official call.
Well, maybe he called it early. He seems to do that sometimes.
It's a 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10. And the ball be for Wray at their own 48. With 4:14 to go. Handoff goes right side on first down across midfield. And a gain of about 4 on the play. I believe that was to Bryson Lewis, his second carry of the night. Lewis with his second carry for 7 yards. Still lots of work on for Scott City with a good test with Millwood, and TMP's no slouch either. Really some good tests for a long time the rest of the season. 2nd down and 6. It'll be a big counter, and Lewis will keep it himself. And nice tackle that time right at the 48-yard line. His second carry. In there right now is the freshman Reed Felker. As Case Armandaris with a nice rope tackle there. 3rd down and 5 for Wray after that gain of 1. Boy, a lot of good things tonight here for Scott City as well. And this is a good Wray team. And Scott City showed their explosiveness and really took control of this game in the 3rd quarter. Here's the counter play left side, and a lot of room left the left side, but closed quickly. Nice tackle.
That's a little punter.
Sure is. That punter, Flippy Kranza, and nice Kevin Wiebe stopped there a couple yards to the 45. And that brings up 4th down and about 3 with 2:40 to go. So homecoming next Friday night with the Falcons of Millwood. Second of 3 home games. They make the 6-hour journey from North OKC. Wray tonight 1-2 on 4th down. It'll be Collins on the direct snap right side, and he's going to be blasted. He may have lost a yard on that. And delivering that, I believe, was Brevin Vogelmore, among others, and a turnover on downs. And Trey Ryan, who's out there for the first time since his freshman year, a junior for the Beavers, been having shoulder injuries, but good to see him back out on the field.
Oh, that's awesome. That's like last year we had those 2 guys come out for football. Hadn't been out since their freshman year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
46-yard line and a 3rd quarterback of the night for the Beavers. Or no, correction, it is Bergner. Up the middle for, Vallejo running hard. He'll gain 6 on 1st down.
Yes, he did. He ran really hard. I love that when we can. Some of them kids kind of three-quarter speed. Vallejo, that was full blast.
Be a second down coming up, and I think we're going to get maybe another quarterback coming up here next play. We'll see. Bergner remains the quarterback. Wing to the right is Wiebe. He's in motion on second down. Another Vallejo carry up the middle. 35-yard line. He was stopped right there in his tracks by Wyatt Fonte, but not before a gain of a baker's dozen and make that 12 and a first down.
Oh, yeah.
20th first and 10 on the night for the Beavers.
Baker dozen would have been 13, wouldn't it?
Yes. New quarterback is the freshman Drew Metzger, the 5'9", 125-pounder with 90 seconds to go. Fourth play of the drive for the Beavers. Oh, well.
We had two guys in motion.
They got to get used to his audible legal shift on Scott City. In some games, you would call that false start everybody but the center, but.
Yeah. No, we had two guys in motion.
8th penalty for the Beavers tonight. Make that 9th penalty of the night.
It still made it fun.
Absolutely.
Lessons to be learned.
Good stuff, though.
It is good
in their
stuff.
receiver. As they run up make that 1st and 15. It'll be a handoff for Vallejo left side. He gets near the original line of scrimmage, just about the 37. 69 seconds remain in this one. Gain of 4 for Vallejo, who's up to 37 yards on 6 carries. And keep in mind, his first 2 carries went for -2 and 0. And, boy, the Beavers explosive on offense again tonight.
Oh, yeah. Adam, that's been that third quarter was something else.
That opened up a lot of eyes there, that's for sure. 54-22, final minute of this one for Scott City. Counterplay, here's Wiebe up the middle, and he bursts through for 7. Setting up a 3rd down and about 4.
Well.
And that'll be maybe our final play of the game. We'll see. 25 seconds to go. Scott City does not have to snap it if they don't need to.
They got to give somebody a carry.
3rd down coming up for the Beavers. Handoff. Vallejo goes right side, has a first down. Still rumbling to the 15. And that'll be probably it for tonight. Just run that clock. 3 seconds, 2, 1. That'll be it.
No, they didn't start it. They stopped it because
3
first and
seconds.
10.
Gain of 16 on that play.
Now it's over.
Now that's it. Scott City dominant tonight against a very good Wray, Colorado team ranked number 2 in 1A. They win it tonight 54-22 to get to 2-0 on the year. Wray drops to 2-1. We'll begin our post-game coverage in 3 minutes. This is Scott City Beaver football.
For over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services agents have built relationships with you one conversation at a time. They're as committed as